stream of things, or trying to be. It's been a crazy week, past week. We're going to get all into it, but we have a ton of stuff to get to today, so we're going to jump right into shipping. As the title says, we literally have over 90 orders we have to get shipped out. Obviously, we're not going to get all those shipped out today, or at least not on stream, but we wanted to get started and give you guys the stream, kind of give you guys an update on what's going on, just hang out and chat with you guys. I really don't have many big topics today other than talking about vacation mode and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been crazy. Thank you for letting me know the music is still forgot to fade that out. Let me get that. Thank you guys in the chat for joining. Yes, Andrew, you are first. Arnold, you are in here as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining today. And we got that music fixed. Like I said, we have a lot of orders to go get shipped out today. Over 90. We're not even going to try to touch that many in the stream today, but we're going to ship some of them out for you guys and just hang out and talk with you all. Like I said, don't really have many topics or anything like that, but we're just going to hang out and ship and maybe talk a little bit about vacation mode and stuff like that and what worked for me, obviously. So we're going to dig right in. It's going to take me a minute to get back into the groove of things here, guys, so bear with me. But we are going to get started with an order right off the bat and get moving as best as we can. As you guys can see around, we've got a lot of stuff around. We've got the hats here. These are all the hats that we got shipping out this week. I think there was like 35 or 40 of them total. Got lots of clothes, and then we sold a ton of shoes, which I think you guys can see most of this over here, which is pretty cool. We are shooting on the new camera also, so hopefully that quality is a little bit better. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Maybe make it a little more easy to watch if you are watching, and a lot of you just listen, and that's fine too. But we are using that, which also allows me to have my phone, which is going to be nice to show you guys things on there as well. So lots of changes, lots of things going on. But we are going to dig right into our first order so that we can hopefully get moving along here. First up, we have the New Era Yankees. This is a 920 hat going out today. Sold that one for $37.99, and we paid, I think, $5 for it or something like that. Don't pay a whole lot for these when I can get them, but I don't get them as often as I would like. But we're going to get that one out. Going out to Surin in Spokane, Washington. How's your guys' week been? I haven't talked to you guys for actually almost 2 weeks now, so surely there's a lot going on that you guys have had going on, whether you're selling or shipping or whatever you're doing. I'm sure there's been a lot. I was on vacation, like I said, and didn't actually do anything work related, which was crazy. Well, I shouldn't say that. Didn't do anything with my business related. Kind of a different for me. Normally I do a little bit of sourcing or something like that, but we didn't even get into any of that. We literally answered a couple questions when they came in on eBay, and that was about it. So but other than that, we haven't had much as far as this goes, except for just obviously taking orders. But yeah, that was kind of nice. Gives me a break, a little bit of a break from it. Not that I really necessarily just wanted a break from it, but it is nice to be able to kind of relax and think about other things than constantly focusing on this. I know if you're like me, that happens a lot. I spend a lot of time thinking about my business because I enjoy it. It's not, I don't want it to sound like a bad thing, but I do enjoy it. And so I kind of tend to put a little more effort into it than I probably should sometimes. Arnold says, good stuff here. Sales are picking up. Actually ran out of some inventory, which is a pain. Hey, that's a good pain to have, right? I'd rather sell my inventory than have it sitting. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't mind it sitting if it's going to sell, but it's a good thing to run out of inventory. That's a good problem to have for sure. Let's see here. Let's update this last new tracking and get that one out of here. All right. It is going to take me a minute, guys, to get back into the groove here, so bear with me. It's been a crazy morning already. Let's see. Andrew said, took your advice from your bulk order live stream and got an assistant manager's cell from Dick's Warehouse after a convo and got her text list for bulk buyers. Thanks for the tips there. Awesome. Hey, that's great. I'm glad that worked out for you, because you never know where that's going to lead. It may, you never know. I've got several people that are like, oh yeah, we'll get in contact with you. It never happens. But then there's those other ones that are awesome about it and can really, really help you out. So that's awesome. Glad to hear it helped. I'm looking forward to getting into some more bulk deals and getting out there and kind of talking with some people, but I've been kind of avoiding it again with the move coming up. I don't necessarily want to get into too much of that at the moment, but definitely here in the next year or so, we're gonna step it up on that and try to get into some more bulk deals, because They're nice to have when you've got the capital, and it makes sourcing a whole lot easier overall. But great, glad it helped, Andrew. I seen also, I think it was you talking about the bin store. Got somebody's contact information from the bin store. That's awesome too. That one can, like I said, I know those ones tend to lead to some pretty good returns, just depending on what type of stuff your bin store gets. But that's awesome. We are just in here to chat, guys. Like I said, I've really not got much topic. I think we'll talk about here in a minute what I did on the vacation mode to try to help out with sales, because I was really worried it was going to tank. But like I said, we ended up, I think, with 95 orders, something like that total, and that was over, let's see, Saturday through Sunday. So that's what, 8 days, 9 days, something like that. So we averaged roughly about 9 sales per day, which on vacation mode is crazy. That's really good. I've never had that many sales come in while my store is on vacation mode. I've only had, honestly, 2 or 3 people contact me wondering where their items are, so that was nice. We got a few this morning because my auto response was going out telling them that it would be shipped out today, and there were a few that were worried that it didn't get shipped out today. So, but other than that, we actually didn't have too many questions, so I don't know if eBay put more messages somewhere, made them bigger. I don't know, but it worked. And so that was nice to not get constant messages asking where their items are. This here, I didn't really show it that well. Sorry, this is a 47 brand hat that we called out in bread and butter. That was a pretty good call out. I can't remember if we were paying like $8, I think, for those. $6, $8, something like that. I could be wrong. But those went out for, sold that one for $24 on the brown one, and that was just a Dodgers one. Let's see, there it is. I have it here somewhere. All right. Unfortunately, every time I scan my labels, it keeps popping up DHL instead of USPS, so it just adds another step I got to change every time I go to scan one of these in. Thank you, eBay, for changing things. Let's see. Let's get caught up on the comments. How do you feel about stock photos? I use them all the time. My store, I would say, besides my hats, which I did start taking my own because it was taking too long to find stock photos. But other than that, I pretty much use stock photos for anything that I have that's brand new. Obviously, if it's used or damaged, you want to take your own photos. But I use a lot of stock photos, especially on my shoes. I use nothing but stock photos on those. Never had any issues. There's been a couple of brands. I think UGG was one of them that got me on one of my listings. They didn't want me using their stock photos, and they got a Vero for that. But other than that, very few brands actually do anything about it, and most of them don't care at all. And I feel it gives a really good representation of the item. Obviously, companies spend thousands of dollars, on their photography setups and stuff like that to get pictures of their items because they want them to sell. So the only downside to that on eBay per se is that, you're probably going to have a lot of people with the same photo. So you might want to differentiate, maybe use a different stock photo or a different angle that they have. I try to do that, but I use them all the time. Don't really have any issues with them. Let's see, Arnold. Oh, almost forgot. I got approved on eBay seller today. Awesome. So starting to try out with my cheap international shipping from, is that New Zealand? I'm sorry, I don't know. Or Netherlands, I think, maybe. I don't know my country codes. NL. Awesome. That's great. I've been using, like I said, I've been trying to get into the whatnot section of it and stuff like that. Not necessarily their auctions, but their buy it now section, or their, what they call it, a marketplace, or their storefronts. I don't know what they call it exactly. But been trying to get into that, just offering another way for buyers to find your items. So if you can figure out the shipping and how it works for you, that's great. I've been shipping a lot of stuff overseas through eBay's international program, which is kind of a cheat code, but it works for us over here. Andrew said, congrats, eBay international shipping program is awesome. Yeah, I'm curious. You'll have to let me know, Arnold. Do they offer it over there? Is there a global shipping program where you just ship it to an address in your country and then they ship it out? That'd be cool to know, because I know we do here, but like I said, I don't know if other countries have that yet, or if they're working on it. Arnold said, I use my own shipping, but we'll look into eBay's own shipping thing. The Netherlands. Okay, yeah. As soon as I said New Zealand, I was like, no, that's not right. I remember talking to you about it. But awesome. That's great. That's what you want to do. That's the name of the game. Always adapting, always figuring out ways to maximize your profit, whether that's in buying or selling, or just other platforms, other places to sell. Never hurts. As long as your time is worth the investment, then you don't have to. There's nothing else. It's not going to cost you anything else on most of these other platforms to sell over there. So that's really cool. Next up, we have, let's see, what is this? This Cactus Ropes Texas hat. I can't remember the manufacturer of these. It probably says on the side. Is it Hooey? H-O-O-E-Y. Hooey. If you ever see these sell really fast, and they have a really good sell-through rate as far as in price on them. We sold this one for $34.99, and like I said, this is just one of their basic. It is their rope hat, so it's kind of that newer style mesh snapback. But this brand does really well and had really good sell-through. I've already sold, I think, the 3 that I got within like a month, so definitely worth it there. What's up, Dylan? Thanks for joining. I got $5. How do I make 100,000? You spend that 5 and you sell it until you can get to the $1,000 mark. Got a long way to go. Let's see. Pete's in the room here. Still, let's see. Can't read it. Is this stream with the new camera? It is. So we can show off the new camera here in just a second. Once we ship a box of shoes, I'll show you what's kind of cool with this one. But yeah, we did get it set up. I still need to mess with the colors a little bit. I'm not sure how it's going to upload to YouTube. That kind of changes things sometimes, but overall, I've been impressed. I actually streamed with it this past week also, part of my family's church that down in Arizona that we were down there, helped get their stream, some updates to it and stuff like that, with some new cameras. And we actually tested this one out in a concert series, and it was pretty cool to see. Didn't really get to use it a whole lot because of where it was at, but got to test it out and try it out, and that's made a huge difference. And so far it's working good. I don't think it's too dark, but we'll see. All right, let's get this one shipped out. Going out to Norman in Hollywood, Florida. Hollywood, Florida. Oh man. All right, this has been a crazy morning for me. Literally took me an hour and a half, something like that, to pull all these orders. Hour and a half, 2 hours to pull all the orders, which is ridiculous. But I need to get, when I get this many orders in, it's hard for me because a lot of times there'll be stuff in one place and I'll go pick that stuff, go to the next item, and then the next item will be right back where I was. So I really need to figure out a better way to pick orders. It's not that big of a deal when there's only, 15 items a day, like we kind of average. But when it's not, it takes a long time. So that's why the stream's delayed and we're hitting it a little bit later in the evening. But I wanted to get in here and do it just because I promised you guys that, and I enjoy it. I get to ramble and talk and get to talk with you guys, so it's a lot of fun, and I get to do some work while I do it. Next up, we got a bin store item. I don't even know what I paid for this. I've had this forever. This is just a bowling shoe cover, or a shoe slider. So you stick it on the tip of your shoe and it helps you slide or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know what I paid. I hope I only paid $1 or $2 for it. Who knows? Probably may have paid $5. At max, $8. That's the highest my bin store went, and it sold for $13.50. Going out to Barbara in, where is this? Ashburn. It's funny. They actually already left me feedback for that one, so they haven't even gotten it, and they left me feedback. How about that? At least I hope it wasn't bad. Shouldn't be. Oh man. Now I want to ship some shoes so I can show you guys what the camera does, but I gotta wait. I gotta keep going, otherwise I'll lose track and never get stuff shipped out right. But yeah, vacation mode. How many of you guys have put your stores on vacation mode? I do it all the time. Anytime I'm gone, I'll put it on vacation mode. If it's going to be more than like a couple of days past the handling. But I'm curious what you guys' opinion is on it. Is it worth it? Is it not? Obviously, I feel like it's worth it, but we did do a couple of things while we were gone to help boost sales, and we will talk about that here in a minute. But do you guys put your stores on vacation mode? Because I know there's 2 different options. You can put it on vacation mode and you don't accept orders. You can put it on vacation mode and accept orders, and it gives the buyer a message that it's going to be delayed. But very few buyers actually pay attention to that, so you kind of get a few that are upset. Like I said, this is the first time I've never gone without buyers being upset. I've had a lot of people ask, but nobody's upset about it. So I think I got my message down for what it is. And here I am shipping shoes, and I didn't show you guys. Let's grab this one, and then we will show you what I'm talking about. That way you guys don't have to wait. Let's grab a envelope. These are another bread and butter call outs from a long time ago. This is one of the first call outs I think I picked up a while back. These were for some Allbirds Just your, I don't know what you call them, kind of a standard sneaker. It's not a boat shoe, but something similar to that. We got these going out. Finally sold them. I bought way too many. Size 7, size 8 was one of my first retail arbitrage deals, or online arbitrage deals, excuse me. And like I said, I spent too much. I bought, well, not spent too much, but I bought too much. I bought, I think, 20 pairs of each size, and that was ridiculous. Live and learn. I still have 19 pairs of each at the moment, but we did get the price down finally to where they would sell. And I need to adjust a couple of the other ones just so they will start moving. They're a decent shoe, and they're actually pretty popular even overseas, I believe, but just didn't get it. We are shipping it in a poly. This box is really sturdy, so not worried about that. We sold those. I don't know right off the top of my head what I paid for it. Sorry, guys. Normally I look these up for you while we're on here, but I just have too much going on today to give you an exact one on some of these. These older items, I didn't use my cost of goods in the SKU field, which is what I normally do to help track that. And I didn't, I got these way before I implemented that. So a lot of these SKUs are just the size or whatever going out. But these sold for $36 going out to Mary in Scarsdale, New York. Going out to them. Let's see, comments. We got comments. Thank you guys so much for the comments. I love it. Back to the random stock photo question. Do you just screenshot when doing it from your phone, or do you wait until you're at home and grab stock images? So I do. I wait until I get home to actually save the photo. It does work on mobile every now and then. You get the full size, but a lot of times it'll be like a smaller size and it doesn't look as good on your listing. I do all my listing from PC, so I very rarely list from my phone. I'm just old school, I guess, or old, one of the two. And so I don't mess with it too much, but on the mobile. But like I said, I would recommend doing it from a PC because, like I said, you can save the full resolution photo and it doesn't blur or anything like that when people are looking at it, and you get a lot larger photo. Just looks better overall on your listing. Arnold says, on one of my main platforms, I closed the store, but with a public password, so customers can still place orders if they really want. Interesting. So when you say public password, I guess I'm not sure what you mean by that, but that's interesting that you can like close it, but they can still order if they're okay with waiting. That's kind of what eBay does, if that's what you're saying. But like I said, nobody pays attention. There's literally a message when you click on the item. There's a message on top. When you click on the confirm order, whatever, there's one there. And I think it even says it, and I know it says it in the email. Like, it tells them all the time, but they still don't get it. I don't know. I don't know about people. All right, let's show you guys what this camera does now that I'm walking over when I could be showing you. We're going to try it this way. I don't know if it's going to do it. This has what's called automated. Oh, no, it's not wanting to recognize it. It's supposed to do it. There we go. So it's actually going to start tracking me. So when we go grab this next order, of course it's shoes, or it's not shoes, but we're going to go to the shoes. So when I walk over here, it's actually going to follow me while I grab this next order, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, you see the rest of the mess of my room in here, but it's pretty cool. It's got smart tracking in it, and it's actually really good as far as even the movements. You can kind of see it does very well. It's going to move around a little more than I want to right now because of how far zoomed out I am, but it makes it really nice to set up, and like if I'm going to go do something in the other room or whatever, it will track me while I do that. We're going to go ahead and tell it to stop here, and then that way it's not jumping around on you guys. I need to adjust some of the settings, like I said. There we go. So it doesn't keep doing that. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's got a kind of, like I said, built-in tracking, which is kind of cool. And we'll use it more in some of our actual videos. That way I can actually set it down and do some projects and not have to hold a camera, which is going to be awesome. So hopefully you'll see that in some upcoming videos. It's got some other settings too and stuff, but that was the main one with this particular one. Let's see. Bricklink doesn't show your listings while the store is closed, but if the customer knows your store, they can enter the password. Ah, okay. Okay. Lego parts and wait until I return. That's really cool. That would be cool if eBay did that, actually. That would be super, super cool if they did that, because that would make it a lot easier. Let's see. I'm going to adjust this out here a little bit better. But yeah, that would be super cool if eBay offered that. Just as another option. You know, other options are always nice. Sold these Cole Haans. These were from the Cole sale. I want to say, I don't know, This would have been 2 months ago, I think. Month, 2 months ago. These are those ones that we went back and cleaned up on because we weren't sure if they were going to have them. And we didn't have room when we originally got them. So we went back and we actually found some and got these guys. I want to say we paid $25 for these and they sold for $75.99. These can do really well. Oops, I did this one backwards. They can do really well, the brand especially, and it depends on the shoe, obviously, but brand new ones, I mean, even used ones sell pretty well. And then if you can get them brand new for pretty cheap, it's definitely worth it. We're going to package these back up in this box and try to get the paper back in, make it look as nice as possible. Someone's spending $75 on a pair of shoes. Don't want it to look like they just came from the thrift store. Retail on these is $90, but still, I'll take that $76 any day. Going out to Ernesto in Miami, Florida. We did get some different boxes, so we're going to try one of those out and see what it works like. We'll see how this works here. Oh, this is too long anyway. All right, so no new ones on there. I got my eBay coupon. If you guys have store subscriptions, definitely recommend checking that out. You got the eBay coupons going on right now for the $50. You don't want to lose that before the end of the quarter. So definitely go use those. That way you don't forget it. I used mine and ordered some different boxes. I really don't need boxes right now, but I ordered a different size that they offer now to see if it works for some smaller shoes. And I didn't want to waste it, but I also ordered some new zip. They're not, I think they're Ziploc or something like that bags. We've got them behind me here. I'll show you guys in just a second. Not sure what we'll use them for, but it's pretty interesting. Let's see. Grim says, so I'm in bread and butter as well, and I know a lot of people say wait to get into RA, but we have one single bin store, so I'm ready to get new inventory. What would you suggest doing? Yeah, so RA, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting into RA as long as you have don't just switch completely to RA. Keep doing your bin store. So make your bin store your main one, but start doing the RA on the side. And I don't know how to put it. Set aside an amount of money that you want to spend on RA. When we refer to RA, guys, we're talking about retail arbitrage. That's going into a store and purchasing, products like I do, like these Cole shoes. We bought those. That would be considered retail arbitrage. Going and buying them from a retailer and then turning around and selling them for more money. So when you do RA, I just recommend not investing everything into it. Maybe set aside, maybe take, I don't know, $200, $500, whatever you feel is possible for you at the moment. Take that and start sourcing with it, and try to, I would almost keep it separate. So spend that money, go buy it, and wait for some of that stuff to sell before you buy more. Use it more like that than just, spending a whole ton of money on it, because you got to learn it. The other thing I would recommend, and this is something that I struggle with and I still struggle with, there's always going to be deals. So do not buy unless you know it's a good deal for you. You may want to take risk on it and stuff like that, and that's fine if you're not spending a bunch of money. But retail arbitrage is one of those things, especially when you're new to it. You don't want to be like me and go buy 20 pairs of those Allbirds shoes. Don't recommend that. You want to learn it and stuff like that. So don't feel like you have to buy just because you can make a little bit of money. Make sure you're making a good return on your money, and that way you'll learn with less headache, I guess is what I would like to say. I can't use my words today. But yeah, I don't think it's wrong for anybody to get into RA. The biggest thing is you just do not want to overextend yourself into it and spend all your money into that, because what you buy there will probably take a little bit longer to sell versus your bin store items, because you can take your bin store items and price them super competitively and get it out there. You may not be able to do that with the other without losing your margins. So like I said, I would just recommend setting a budget for yourself. Put that money, take it as an investment, and go and start doing some retail arbitrage, finding, deals that you can comp, that you're familiar with, that you can look up and get kind of an understanding of it before you invest more into it, and just use that money. If you watch Adam's videos on his flipping from zero and stuff, I would almost take that as like a kind of an idea with it. He took, I forget how much. Oh, he didn't even take a set amount of money, but he took, a few items that he sold and then took that money and just kept flipping it. That's what I would do with your retail. Maybe take $500 if you've got that available to you. Go buy something that you know is going to sell. You're familiar with the category or whatever. Find a good RA deal, buy that, and just start flipping your money, that 500, and just keep reinvesting that money that you get into retail arbitrage while you learn. Once you feel like you're a little more confident with it, then you can invest more money. But I wouldn't throw everything into it, because it can really, really take off, and you'll end up with way more spent, and then you'll be waiting to sell that inventory before you make money. So hopefully that helps. I don't know if that made a whole lot of sense, but that would be my suggestion. That's just, again, my personal opinion. All right. Next up, we have on the order list today, we have the Atlanta Braves hat. Let's see, got a ton of them here. Gotta find the right one. Here we go. Atlanta Braves. This is a mono camo, kind of a unique sweatband inside there, which is pretty cool. Let's pick these ones up from my bulk seller, and got these for around $13. I think is what we're averaging on these. Selling it for $42.75. So you may wonder why all the random numbers. Let's see. That was a great answer, man. That's exactly how I felt, only having one bin store. Subbed and liked. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, like I said, let me know how it goes too. That way I know if my stuff works or not. I don't want to give advice if it's not working for people. But yeah, I feel you. If I didn't have a bigger city next to me, that's how mine was. I had one bin store, a Marshall's, and a Ross, and that was basically my sourcing opportunities here. So I don't shy or tell anybody to shy away from it. I keep stuttering today. It's interesting. I think I need sleep. All right. Going out to Jeremy here on the Atlanta Braves hat. Let's see where Jeremy's located. Looks like Jeremy's in Maryland. Or Maine, sorry. Man, my abbreviations are all off today. It's going to be interesting. So something we did on the vacation mode, like I said, we did put the store on vacation mode, but I wanted to try to boost sales and so on, because we were actually going into a slump the week before. I didn't really get to talk about it because we did the live stream before that. But that week of the last live stream, we actually tanked really bad. Sales dropped a lot. And so it kind of worried me going into vacation, because a lot of times when you put your store on vacation mode or whatever, I feel like you lose momentum. It may just be a coincidence, but it always feels like you kind of slow off in sales, obviously, because not everybody is able to get their stuff as quickly as they want it. And then when you come back, it seems to take a few days to get that momentum built back up to where you get back up to where you were averaging. Like I said, we were doing really good, and we've been doing good all this year up until about 3 weeks ago, and it really started to drop off. And so I was starting to get worried, especially with taking vacation, because I don't want to hurt the store more and then come back this week and just be dead, and trying to build that back up with throwing more listings up, more new listings, whatever, to get that momentum back. So what we did is we actually put the store on a 5% sale across the board, almost on everything except for a few items that I know sell consistently without needing it. But basically a 5% discount across the board. Yes, I'm going to lose a little bit of margin, but it's better than not getting any sales while you're gone and trying to keep up with it. So I wanted to do that. And then I also took some items, about I think a quarter of my store or so, and put it on a 10% sale to try to boost those sales as well. And that was mostly old items that I've had for a long time. A lot of my bin store items, which you'll see we sold quite a few of this week compared to normal. So we were able to get some of that stuff on a 10% sale, and some older stuff that I probably had priced too high to begin with and just hadn't gone through and adjusted. So it was nice to get that stuff out of here, but then also help throughout the week. And it seemed to have worked. Like I said, we actually averaged 10 sales per day, which is really good for a vacation. I'm averaging 12 to 15 a day on a regular week. So that I am completely happy with only dropping down to 10 sales a week, especially with being gone and not doing anything all week long as far as the business goes. So super happy with that. It seemed to work. Like I said, I do normally put it on sale. I do normally put the 5% off when I do a vacation mode. And I don't always see a great return on it, but for some reason this week it really seemed to work. And like I said, it could be the time of the year too. Honestly, I was thinking about it. I was talking to my wife about it. So I was like, man, I hate to go on vacation now. You know, it's already slow. It's going to really hurt it. But at the same time, I guess that's the best time to go on vacation. You know, if you're already slow, you know, might as well take a little bit of that time because, you know, it can't hurt it any more than what it was, so to speak. So probably a good idea. It might be something I'm going to look into a little bit more often, is trying to plan stuff out during, you know, slower times of the year. It may hurt a little bit less and still get a break and kind of recharge and revive on that. Let's see. We got some more comments. Last thing, I'm done. Hey, girl, I appreciate you blowing up the chat. I love the questions. I love the comments. That's the whole reason I do this, is to be able to interact with you guys. Not just for you guys, it's for me too. Like, it gives me some sort of interaction when I'm sitting in my house all week long by myself. So I don't mind it one bit. Feel free to comment. All of you guys, welcome to it. Even if it's just you know, something even not related to reselling. You don't have to feel like it's got to be related to reselling. We're just here to chat and hang out. Do you have suggestions on that $500 budget for RA? Like, should I focus on items that are like 5 into 20? So it depends on what categories you're looking at. So what I would recommend is set a margin for yourself that you want to make. For me, I want to double my money minimum. So when I say double my money, that doesn't mean buy it for 20, sell it for 40. I want to buy it for 20, sell it for 20, or buy it for 20, and then whatever I sell it for, my profit would be $20 on my investment. That's ideal. That's, if anything's above that, great. If it's, you know, right there at it, I'm going to go for it. If it's less than that, it would have to be something I can buy a lot of. For instance, these hats. We actually sold 3 of them this week. These are just Adidas, you know, standard hats. We paid $4 for them. I think we're selling them for 20 bucks. So it's actually a pretty good margin on it anyway. But even if it was selling for like 15 bucks, I'd probably still buy these because it's one listing. So I would take a little less margin on that. I only have to do one listing. It's easier to ship, whatever. If I can make, you know, if I can make $3 on it, I would buy it and sell it for $3 instead of having to make that $4 thing. But beginning out, I would not recommend doing that. This is what I would call a bulk buy, not a bulk buy, what's the term Adam uses all the time? I can't think of it. A number play. I cannot think of the word. Anyway, buying high quantities of it because it's all under one listing and it's, you know, a quantity play or something like that. But starting off, you need to set kind of your margin, what you want to definitely make on it. And the reason why you want to make sure it's a little bit higher than, you know, the reason why I set it for double is because there is a chance that that item is going to tank a little bit and you may have to take a little bit less margin. You don't want to ever be breaking even on something that you buy, because then you've just wasted your time and your money invested in that. So like I said, my rule of thumb is I want to make however much I have to spend for it. I want to make that much in profit on top of it before I'll buy it for RA. And I would just set something like that up. You know, you don't have to stick to $5 items. It can be $50 items if you know you're going to sell them for 120, 130 bucks, which is what, you know, you probably have to sell it for to make that margin. So I would suggest setting up a margin more than just a, you know, 5 to 20 kind of thing. You'll learn what numbers when you start doing it. You'll know, you know, I know if I buy a pair of shoes for 20 bucks, it needs to sell for 50 basically for me to make my money on it. And you'll learn that. But that's what I would recommend. Arnold said, my weekend was very good with 9 sales. Awesome. That is awesome. You start getting worried. I know I do. I see a lot of things going on in the world and how prices are just skyrocketing for everything under the sun. We were talking about it this week with my family and stuff. You know, how much it costs to go to McDonald's now. We were over there in California for a little bit. Well, I wasn't, but my wife was for a couple days, just on a little trip. And, you know, going to McDonald's, it's like $15, $18 for a meal now over there. And you start getting worried, and you always want to think, as a business owner, you should be thinking, how is this going to affect me? You know, for me personally, I have a lot invested in hats. Hats are not going to be the most popular thing if, you know, everything crashes, and not to be a doomsday person, but you have to think about that stuff. So you want to try to, you know, make sure whatever you're selling, you can keep up. And again, it's not like that people aren't going to buy hats. It's just, you know, if money's not as available, then people aren't going to necessarily be spending it as much. So you have to consider that. So you worry, but when you have a good week and you have a good weekend or something like that, it's really nice. Gives you that boost in your, not self-esteem, but your confidence in what you're doing. and that's always helpful. So I love hearing that other people are getting sales. So that's important. I mean, that's what we do this job for. Next up, we got this 47 brand. What is this? The MVP? Yeah, MVP Dodgers hat. It's actually a really cool tan hat to begin with. But what's even kind of cooler on it is it actually is a misprint and has the Yankees printed on the back of the adjustable band. So it's an air hat. We are selling these, and believe it or not, we're selling these. This one technically was 20 bucks. They got it for 19 because we had the sale on it. But selling these for like 20, 25 bucks. I actually sold a different one for 25 just right before I left. So crazy that you can sell them for that. But we picked these up for cheap, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I think we had like $3 in those air hats, and we are making some money on them. Let's see. I appreciate it so much, man. I work part-time with eBay and part-time at my church, so I really want to scale this thing. I'm just trying to have patience for the right cooks. Hey, man, that's awesome. This job, this hustle, whatever you want to call it, for part-time is crazy good. It's really, really nice. As I'm not saying it's not for full-time, but as a part-time thing, it's something you can definitely scale a lot easier when you're part-time. And, having that ability to do it is great. As far as, being patient, that is key. You will make more money by being patient about it than just trying to constantly buy. And I wish I would have learned that lesson a lot sooner. Still wish I would learn that lesson a little bit more instead of feeling like I always have to buy a deal. But yeah, smart buying. You make all your money on the buy. That's kind of an old saying, but you really do. And everything that you do in reselling and most businesses, you make money on the buy. If you can get it for cheaper, that's where you make your money on that side of it. It's only going to sell for whatever the market is. So, if the cheaper you can get it and the better the buy, then that is where it's at. So happy to help, man. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Arnold said, I tried to expand my assortment with products I use myself. Worst case, I have abundance of something I don't really mind. Yeah, that's true. I've done that before with some things, buy a ton of it, and hey, at the end of the day, I'll use most of it at least. So it always helps. That's one of the things with hype shoes. I don't do hype shoes at all, really, but every now and then I'll enter, and I've gotten 1 or 2 pairs now and then, but I always just get them in my size. I always make sure there's something I might wear just in case they just tank super bad, and yeah, it seems to work. But I always get them in my size, even though I have a small shoe size. I'll order them in that way. Worst case, I get a cool pair of shoes out of the deal. All right, next up we do have one of those Adidas hats that we just showed you. Of course, they're all tangled up. This is from the Marshall's Yellow Tag sale event. I need to check and see when that's coming up. We paid $4 for this one and sold it for $21 after the discount. Like I said, guys, all of these prices that you're going to hear from me today are about 5 to 10% off of what the listed price was. We are running that sale, so just keep that in mind, and that's why some of the random numbers. All right, so I don't need that on. So 4 into 20 is not bad. Retailing these is $26. And no, I don't sell all my hats at retail, even though that's what some people think. But the ones I do sell at retail or over retail, I make good money on. So, all right, going out to Victor in Naples, Florida. So yeah, I keep getting sidetracked, but we did do the sale on that. We ran that Saturday through Friday. So we didn't let it run through the weekend, because what I do is my vacation actually ends on Friday. I set my vacation time to end on Friday. And the reason for that is because your handling time still comes into place. So basically what it does is when you put your store on vacation mode to accept orders, whatever order comes in, it puts the handling time as if they ordered it on the last day that you have set as your return date. So you can, if you have 2 days, for instance, like I do, you can actually set your return date 2 days earlier. Then your store goes back into regular mode and people don't see that message and think it's going to take longer. So that's a tip. I know eBay always says, like when you click on it, it says, oh, make sure to give yourself a day or two. Depends on what your handling is. And obviously with me, I could do that over the weekend because I was going to be here today. So I go through, I set it, whatever the 2-day handling time gives me enough time to get it shipped out. For me, all these orders have to be shipped out by tomorrow. Most of them will go out today, but a lot of them will go out tomorrow, or someone will go out tomorrow and they're still on time. So it's a little bit of a cheat, especially if you're going to be gone over the weekend. I recommend doing that, and you're going to be back by Monday. I recommend doing that. That way your store, you get your regular sales and kind of get that sales built up over that weekend when you're coming back. So tends to work. You can't always do that depending on your schedule, obviously, but when it works, it helps out a lot. Let's see. No, really, my last question before I unplug my keyboard. I noticed you aren't using the normal Staples box 6x6x4. What box is that? I want to order them since it's free. Yeah, if you're shipping priority mail, you can use these. These are the mailbox 4. They're called box 4 from the post office's website. They are a 7x7x6, but they will fit one hat. Of if you've got like a flat bill or like a 5950, it'll fit one of these. If it's any other hat that has a curved bill, it'll fit 2 to 3 depending on the hat. But that's what I use. They're just, like I said, box number 4 is what they're called, and they are the 7x7x6 inner diameter, or inner dimension. Sorry, not diameter. Yeah, they work great. Like I said, if you're shipping priority, obviously, if you're not shipping priority, you can't use these, and I don't recommend it, even though a lot of people do. You don't really want to mess with the post office because they can come after you and get you in trouble pretty good for that. And a lot of times what happens is if they are going to get you in trouble, they may not, prosecute you, but they will charge the customer the difference, and it's the retail rate. So, it might cost $6, $7 to ship this via priority mail, but if you go into the post office, it's going to cost you $10 to $12 to $13, if not more. Sometimes they even put surcharges on it whenever they're not shipped correctly. So just keep that in mind. Sold this one for $42.74. This is a Marlins. These are the batting practice hats, I believe, with the mesh back. And sold this one here, like I said, for $43. I have an average of $13 into those. Going out to Angel in Florida. I don't know what the name of that is, but that's where it's going. Let's see. Hey, man, and don't worry. Ask away on all the questions. I really don't mind. I really don't mind. I love it. It helps me keep you guys entertained and give me something to talk about because I know I'm going to run out. I do the same, taking the store out of vacation mode when my journey back starts. Yeah, it helps. I turn my Amazon on. Of course, you can't. You have to turn Amazon off. You can't put it on vacation mode, so to speak. Oops, forgot to scan that one. So I will turn my Amazon store back on. Again, I do have 2-day handling on most of those items as well. Uh-oh, who was that? I said it was Angel, right? I hope so. Just to kind of give you that boost, it gives it, and then you can get back and hit it full steam like we are today. All right. Let's see. Thank you guys for joining. If you're watching, appreciate it. Live, if you're rewatching this, thank you guys too. We've been doing really good. The streams have been getting 100 to 150 views after we launched them, which is super awesome. So thank you guys for all your support there, especially if you watch afterwards. Well, not just especially, but if you do watch afterwards, I want to thank you as well. We did drop a new video. If you have not checked that out, which you should have, it came out last week. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it did come out last week. And if you haven't watched it, I would appreciate if you go check it out. We did the Burlington sourcing video. It is a little bit late. It took me forever to finally get it edited and to get back into that habit. But we did get it back out there. So if you haven't checked that out, I would appreciate it. There's a link in the description box below, or you can just hit that page button and it will be the top video, or should be the top video there. Let me know what you guys thought of that. Or if you've watched it already, let me know what you thought. We actually did sell some of those cleats, so we'll talk about them here in a minute, and we'll dig into it a little bit more once we get there. But I'd love to know your guys' opinions on what you would like to see for content-wise. I do want to start doing some more actual videos versus not. I'm still doing the live streams, obviously, but I do feel like if we're going to grow the channel, I'm going to have to do some more actual content, short-form content, to help get some viewers in, because YouTube just doesn't promote live streams after they've been streamed. So for all purposes, I mean, they do help, and obviously they interact, and that's the whole reason I do this channel, is for that. But if we are going to get some outside people coming in and stuff like that and grow the channel, we are going to have to do some more of that content, so YouTube will push it. And plus, I don't blame anybody that hasn't watched these before. Why would they want to come in and watch a 2-hour video, especially if they're not familiar with it? So we're going to try to do some of that, even if it's just shorter videos and shorter ideas. So if you have any ideas on that, that would be awesome. If you could let me know, I appreciate it. And we'll try to get some stuff up you guys want to see, and not just whatever comes to mind for me. Like I said, we do have got a couple ideas, but I haven't really been able to figure out how to get it all organized. So we'll have to see what we can come up with. But thank you, though, if you have watched that video. And I would love to hear what you guys thought of it, or what your opinions are on the whole Burlington sourcing. We just did cleats that video. You can do a lot more from Burlington. It's honestly a great place to source. But we just wanted to stick with that to hopefully help with these summer sales. Let's see. We've got Randy that ordered these black. These are those all black New Balance that we've had for a while. They were selling really good, and then they quit selling. I think I might have just gotten underpriced a little bit, but we sold these ones for $66.49. They were selling for $69.99. Put it on that 5% off sale and got the $66.49 for it. So I will take it all day long. We paid about $22 for these, if I remember correctly. Going to Sun City, Arizona. Man, this is getting really old. I don't know why eBay keeps thinking these are DHL packages. They are not. It's a USPS label. Oh well. Has eBay been glitching for you guys at all? I haven't had any eBay glitches, but Amazon was actually down for like 2 days. Not 2 days. Exaggeration. It was down for several hours the day I was getting ready to leave last Friday. It was really bad, actually, because I had some orders I needed to ship right before I left, and the web page was down. So we did get it. It popped up about 10 minutes before I left, so I was able to get it finished. But had been worried there for a minute. They were down for a little bit, and when Amazon goes down, you know it's something big. Let's see. Arnold says, have you been able to combine personal hobbies with reselling? Yes, that's how I got into it. That's definitely, my hobbies now are outrageous. I do a lot of off-roading and side-by-sides and stuff like that. And I have actually gotten some deals on some like pod lights and stuff like that from that. And I do like to do that. I always pay attention if I find a really good deal when I'm shopping for something, you know, for myself, then I do. But when I got into it, that's exactly what I got into it with. Nerf guns, my paintball. We used to play paintball quite a bit, and I did a lot of reselling with that. That's how I actually funded my hobby. I didn't have a job at the time. I was in school and didn't have a job, so I literally would buy and sell and trade all that stuff within the paintball as a hobby. So I love it. That's the best thing to resell, because I recommend people starting at that too, because they know it already. They know what they would spend on it. They know what's a good deal on it, you know, if you're truly into that. So it's a great place to start reselling and to continue if it's there. Like, I know some of you guys that do Legos and stuff like that. I would sell Legos all day long. Like if I felt like I could find the stuff for it. I highly recommend it. And I don't now, not as much. I do like hats, and I do collect some hats and stuff like that. So I really do enjoy selling those and collecting them myself. But yeah, any hobby that I enjoy and I can find stuff to resell, I'm always game for that, because that makes it even that much more enjoyable. Very relatable. Hobby became the business here too. Yeah, like I said, I did it even back before paintball. I was Nerf guns as a kid. I don't even think I was in junior high yet. I started doing that through my mom's account and selling Nerf guns and stuff online, and that was it too. I would go in and buy all the brand new Nerf guns. There would come a brand new, model would come out. I would go in and buy all 4 that they had on the shelf, keep one, and sell the other 3, and I would pay for my one that I kept, and then still made money on top of it. So it's pretty cool. Definitely a lot of fun when you can do that. I should look into it a little bit more. I do have some contacts for some of my like off-road stuff. It's just a lot more money. You have to put a lot more money into it, because I mean the lights that I bought were like $50-$60 a pair, and I think I bought 120 of them. It's a lot of money, but it's still, my hobbies have just gotten more expensive as I go along. That's how I fund my die-cast experiment. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Sometimes I feel like when you go full-time, you miss out on some of that, because you feel like everything you buy for a good margin you need to sell, and that's not the case. But it's just, sometimes it takes it. It's hard for me. There are some things that I would have kept when I was part-time if I find a good deal on it. And now I'm like, well, I'd rather have the money than the product. And so I tend to focus more towards that on getting the sale versus, keeping it myself. But when I was part-time, bin stores were the worst. I go into bin stores, buy 50 items to resell, and end up keeping 20 of them because I thought they were cool. Now I kind of have gotten a little bit over that. I'll keep stuff if I, just need it or something, but I try to keep my frivolous buying down to a minimum. I didn't even show that hat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm struggling here. That was a San Diego 4th of July. It's just a 940 snapback, I believe. But we did sell it for $37.99. So those older hats, I'm telling you, people want them still. So you can get some good money out of them if you have a way of finding them. I am so glad this next sale came in. I have had these, I want to say 2 years now. Close to 2 years. I think I got these before I even went full-time. I could be wrong, though. No, I don't remember putting them. There we go. These are from a Marshall's clearance. We picked them up for $8. They're Nike water shoes for kids. And for some reason, they had great sell-through, great comps, everything, and my listing didn't sell. And then I got sidetracked with it and never updated it. I probably just needed to update, delist, and relist, whatever to kind of refresh the listing. But I didn't. I just left them and took forever with it. And like I said, I've had them for like 2 years now. Put them on this sale and they sold like that. I don't know. I really don't think 5% made the difference. I think that's why I think eBay might promote your items when you put them on sale like that. But they sold for $31. So 8 into 31 or 32. Sorry, that's a great flip. And I don't know what changed. Like I said, I don't think my price was that much higher to where 5% made the difference, but it could have. Going to San Diego, California, to Miss Liz. I am poly mailing these, or not necessarily poly, but these envelopes here. It's not going to hurt them at all. They're foam, so they'll be good. Let's see. Same with the diecast. I'm reluctant to open premium cars that I know will be more valuable, but I can't appreciate it while carded. Yeah, exactly. Be right back. Awesome, Grim. Thank you. Yeah, I'm that way with Legos. I love Legos, but I honestly like Lego boxes. And that's like, I love the design. So my wife made fun of me because I would keep Legos in my box before we were married. I had a bunch of Lego sets that I just kept in box, and I thought they were so cool, but I hated to open them because I knew they'd be worth something later on. Even though I still wanted to build them, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Ended up selling them because they're just taking up too much space, and I didn't want to hang on to it, something that I wasn't going to be able to use. So I did end up selling them, and they sold for great money because they were brand new in the box, but I really did want to take them out. All right. Let's see, next up on the orders we have Browning hat here. We picked these up in the most recent hat sale over on Bread and Butter. These were, like I said, $5. And sold this one for $28.49, which is actually over retail. Retail on these was $24.99. I was able to pick up some more of these. Well, not this exact style, but some more Browning hats. And they've been doing really good for me. So if you ever come across those, kind of a bolo, I guess you could say, for new ones at least. I don't know how well used ones sell, but they do sell. The comps weren't great as far as there weren't a ton of sold comps for any of these. And even Browning hats in general, there weren't a ton of sold comps. But I've sold at least 20 different ones, or 20 total. And I might have like 5 or 6 left. Besides the new ones I got, but from that original sale that we got. And like I said, they sell just as well as any other hat so far. And for good money, $28. Regular $29.99 with the 5% off sale. So going out to San Antonio, Texas, Mr. Carlos. All right. I'm sitting here trying to think of what I did on my vacation. When I say vacation, I actually just went down to hang out with my family, my parents, as well as some friends and stuff from back home where I grew up. And always enjoy it, getting to be down there. Ended up not having near as much free time as I expected, but we just went down there and hang out. I went down for a good friend of mine's baby shower. Mr. Dillon, actually, he was in here earlier. Not sure if he's still in here. But we went down for that. And what else did we do while we were down there? I had a couple of family gatherings, birthday party for my grandpa, all kinds of stuff like that. So it was really cool just to be able to relax and hang out. And then, like I said, I actually did a ton of work on the church live stream down there. Added a couple more cameras, upgraded a whole bunch of software and stuff to hopefully get better quality. But I'm a perfectionist, and it didn't work out as good as I had hoped. So I've still got to do a little bit more work. Hopefully I can do that remotely. But that's what I did. That's about it. We did sell some of these cleats. I picked these up in that Burlington video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I'm going to plug it all video long. So might as well go watch it. That way you know what we're talking about. We've got this one here. Picked these up for $19.99. They did sell for $52.24. I think I did put these on the 5% off sale as well because I think I was asking $55. 20 into 52. Let's see. So 55 would be shoot, $7.50, $8 in fees. Let's say $8, $9 in shipping, because they are going. Oh, these are going to Puerto Rico, so probably not. But normally, I'd say $9 in shipping, $8 in fees, $20 for the items. So we're looking at what, $40. I might have made $12, $13 off these. So that's what I mean by making sure your profit margins are there. But like I said, we did these to try to just increase sales more than anything. We're still making money, obviously. We're still making $12 to $15 off these, but we do that to make sure that we can hopefully get some more sales through the summer. Those are the 9.5s, and they are going, like I said, to Puerto Rico, which should be on my next set of labels here. I don't know if, yeah, you guys can see all these labels. They are a list and a half. Uh-oh. Not here. Where are they at? I was afraid it was going to go out of order like that, and it looks like it is. So give me one moment. I'm going to have to find where my labels went to next. And like I said, we've got about 60 labels here. This isn't even all of them, but these are the ones that I printed. There we go. Is that it? Yeah, okay. So I went to the next one. Weird. I don't know how those printed out. I'm off to bed. We'll watch the rest tomorrow. See you next time. Thank you, Arnold. Appreciate you hanging out with us. And I always appreciate your rewatching. I think you comment every single time, and I do appreciate it. Helps me feel like I'm not just doing it for nothing. So thank you so much. I know you guys are on another time zone there. Like I said, we are doing it late, which is kind of different for us here as well. All right. These are going out. Throw that in the box, and let's keep moving here. I'm going to try to move through as quickly as I can. If you guys have any questions, topics, anything you want to talk about, let me know in the chat. That would be awesome. If you're rewatching this, let me know in the comment box. If I don't address it in the comments, which I most certainly do, we can actually talk about it in the next live stream. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe bell, that notification bell. You'll know the next time we go live. It will most likely be next Monday, but you never know. Sometimes it gets delayed. But definitely do that for us. And like I said, we can talk about or discuss anything that you guys leave in the comments or in the chat at any time. I do not mind one bit. Be happy to do that. And it makes, like I said, makes my job easier from having to come up with a whole bunch of topics. I'm not going to open this one because they are still sealed and I have them listed as that. These are these Funko Pop Battle Droid Episode 1s. These are the Phantom Menace. I'm sorry. These are the Battle Droids from the Phantom Menace. Let me, I might be able to pull this up on here and show you guys. Let's see how well this works. Hopefully I'm not showing too much of them. There we go. These are super cool. This is the first time that they've ever released these. I'm a big Funko Pop collector. That's another hobby, I guess you could say, I've gotten into and tried to and done reselling with. They've never released these particular ones, and they started to sell out. They ended up coming back in stock, but when I ordered them, they were selling out everywhere for pre-order, and I figured we might be able to flip them. We actually sold it for $17.99. We paid, I think, $12.99, I believe, is what they cost. So 13 into 18 is only a $4 or $5 increase, which is not good. I didn't make money on these. Really, I didn't on this particular one. So I broke even after shipping and fees. I'm probably going to eat $1.50, but I wasn't able to return them and stuff, or it was going to cost me too much to return them. So it was better off to sell them and eat it than to actually return them. And I knew I was supposed to go through and cancel the order, and I forgot. So didn't mean to do that, so unfortunately I had to eat it. But we actually broke even because someone went through and bought all or the last 3 of them all together. So we're going to be able to combine shipping on that and actually break even on it. So it worked out in the end, but I don't recommend doing that. It just happened to me, like I said, because I forgot to cancel the order. So, but we're going to ship these out. This one here, really cool. And actually, I still do some Funko Pop collecting, and I had to add one of those to my thing because, like I said, they haven't made that one before, and I don't know why. It took them forever. They've made thousands of Star Wars Funko Pops, but that one they hadn't done yet, so had to add it to the collection. And they're just super cool. Honestly, I was fine if they didn't sell because I would just put a couple in my collection. You know, you can't have too many droids, but they did sell, so we'll take our money back minus $1 or $2 for forgetting. I don't do returns, and actually, if you guys noticed in the last video, or in the not the last stream, but the Burlington sourcing video, I actually had some shoes. You kind of seen them. They got skipped over basically in the recap where we talk about it at the end and go over what we sold and stuff like that. I actually, for the first time in a long time, ended up taking some stuff back that I bought. I ended up with about 6 pair of cleats that I took back because I comped them wrong. So I don't like doing that. However, especially if it's a ton of them, I won't do that unless there's certain circumstances that I may. But I try not to, especially in store. I don't like dumping that because I know that store is going to get stuck with all those. But these ones here, like I said, I comped bad. I wasn't even going to break even on them. I had bought a ton more cleats, so I figured I was going to go ahead and return those ones. So I ended up returning 5 pair of them to Burlington the week later. And like I said, I try not to do that. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. People make returns all the time. I always make sure they're in the same condition. I'm not, price gouging or anything like that, trying to get or not price gouging, but, returning to get more money or anything like that. But it's one of those things I don't like doing that because it's, it ruins. I've been in retail and I know how big of a pain that is for many reasons. This is actually a really cool pickup that I bought just on a spur of the moment. Just decided to go ahead and grab it because I figured it might be worth anything. I didn't comp it. It was $12 or $11 from Ross. This is just an MLB hat with the MLB logo on the front, and it's a fitted. So it's a 7 3/4, which is an odd size. But I went ahead and picked it up. The other ones I can't remember if I couldn't find one exactly like this, or if I did, if it was used or something like that, but I wasn't finding very many good solid comps for the black one. There was several different colors. They were all selling really high. Listed this one for $75 or $79.99, I think. We got $75.99 out of this hat. Retail on it was $36.99. I'm half tempted to leave the price on it. I'm not going to because I don't want somebody to feel like I'm just gouging them. I mean, maybe I am. I don't know. You be the judge of that. But I'm going to take it off just so I don't have it. But it's actually, again, I'm not a baseball fan, but it's a really cool looking hat. You don't see them very many with just, the actual league logo on it. So it was really cool. And like I said, we sold it for a good chunk of money there. So a bolo, I guess. I've been watching reseller videos, and every time they find something good, they call it a bolo. I don't know. I feel like a bolo should be something you can actually find, not a one-off item. But I don't know. That's a whole other story for a whole other day. So we did sell that. One thing about these boxes is if you get a size 8, it's a little bit tight. So I've not had any complaints with it, and I've never had one damaged because of it, but they do get a little bit tighter there. This is going out to Mark in College Park, Michigan. Maryland, my bad. Just seeing the M, didn't see the rest. College Park, Maryland. But yeah, 12 into 75. Not a bad come up there on the hats. As you guys can see, like I said, we have about 90 orders, about 35 to 40 hats. I didn't get an exact number, but 35 to 40 hats. We're doing quite a bit of business in the hat game, which is good because I have a lot of them and I've been focused on that. So it's nice to seeing those averaging out. Like I said, if we have 35 over 9 days, it's about 4 hats a day, which is pretty much a solid average. I don't think I've been any more, any less than that over the past couple of months. So it's nice to see that happening. But to put that into perspective, I have a quantity of over 5,000 hats. I've got about 1,700 listings, We're going to go 15. I don't know where off the top of my head, but I believe it's about 1,500 listings, over 5,000 hats total quantity, and we're getting about 4 sales a day. So that should tell you kind of how your sell-through rate should look. not that it should look that way, but what to kind of expect. They do not sell as fast as everything else. We've got this really cool Philadelphia Phillies hat. This is an orange creamsicle or something. No, actually, it doesn't even say it. What it is on here. Really cool hat. I actually almost kept one of these. I don't pay any attention to baseball, but I almost kept one just because they're really neat looking and just really unique. We have several of these, and we do have them priced higher. We had them at $64.99. This one sold for $61.74 with 5% off sale going on, but still good come up on those, again, from an average of $12 to $13. But not bad there. Really like that one, though. I try not to keep hats that I'm not going to use, and like I said, you see me wearing the same hat almost every single video, so you see how often I wear them. But it is what it is. Robert is getting this one here, going out to Aston, Pennsylvania. Uh-oh. Did I skip one or did I not? I think I didn't put a label on a box. You guys are probably yelling at me because you noticed it. I don't think I put a label on that last box. Let's see here. Get my bearings back here. Make sure I'm shipping the right item to the right person. Robert, got that one. Waiting shipment. Let's see. No, I did put a label on that one. Okay. So we need to make sure. Let's go back. Sorry, guys. We're going to take a quick detour here. Check the paid and shipped. Nope, that's not what I meant. For some reason, it's sorting. Oh, there we go. Okay, they paid. Started sorting by total. Definitely wasn't going to find it that way. You should have a map and put a pin in all the places you mail to. That's actually an interesting idea. It would be a bit of a pain. That's what I should have you do. I should have you start doing a pin map for me while you're listening, because I know you don't work while you listen to this, Pete. Have you just start doing it like on a Google map or whatever. Let's see, Matt Simmons. Sheesh. All right, guys. We're trying here. That's Matt Finlick. Matt Simmons. Okay. We did get that right. I don't know why we have that extra label. Let's find out. What's the name on it? I haven't seen that one come through yet. All right, we're back on track here. Waiting shipment. Maybe. There we go. All right. Let's get back to this. That would be cool, though. I would have to do it like after the video or something. And it honestly would get really old because I wouldn't know where it went. I guess I would just have to do it by state. But it would be pretty cool. There used to be a thing, actually, I think in ShipStation that would do that for you. It would actually show you a pin, like where you've shipped everything. I wonder if there's a way to export that. I bet there is. I bet there's a way to export that from eBay. That would be really cool to do. All right, next up we got a pair of boots that is buried here. Picked these up. I want to say this is from the Kohl's clearance event as well. These are the Newton Ridge size 11s. And they are just kind of a basic hiking shoe for the most part. Let's make sure they're the right size. Size 11, yeah. Can't see. There we go. Okay. Yeah, size 11. Gotta make sure it's the right one. We are gonna just poly mail this because they are so big. Yeah, city would be really hard. Yeah, I started thinking that I'd have to just do the state, but it would be interesting to see for sure. Who knows where all they'd end up? I feel like I've shipped a lot to the same, not same addresses, but the same cities even. I feel like maybe that's just population. That's how population works. I don't know. I don't know. Oh man. Did get to go paddle boarding, which I'm not a big water person, but Actually, I can't swim. I might be able to save my life, but I haven't had to, so I don't know if I could even do that. But decided to give it a try. Had to wear a life jacket, but it was worth it. It was actually a lot of fun. I'm just not sure on the paddleboard thing. I feel like the paddleboard, it's pretty stable. It's actually really unique. Like I've kayaked before and stuff like that. So I expected it to be a lot more sketchy, but it wasn't bad at all. It's just, I feel like it's slow. I'm all about speed, so it feels like it takes forever to get anywhere. But it was pretty cool to do. Actually, I think I might have shown that. I picked up one of those. Where'd you go paddleboarding? Lake there in Yuma, about 30 minutes, 45 minutes from our houses, where we live and stuff, down there. Yeah, it's not anything big. It's actually a really small lake, but it's pretty fun. It's calm, and you kind of don't have to worry about too much traffic. Although there were still jet skis and boats and stuff like that out on the water this time, which normally there aren't. So, but no, it was pretty cool. Those paddleboards are actually, the paddleboard that I used was actually the ones I got from that Dick's Sporting Goods sale, or not the Dick's Sporting Goods, the Academy sale. And bought two of them, one for myself, and then was going to sell the other one, but I think we're just going to keep it. It was actually a lot better quality and everything than the one my wife had, so I think we're just going to keep it and use it, because they were pretty nice. We'll have to go out sometime. Well, if you weren't moving, we'd go out, but no, I'm just kidding. I'm going to give you a hard time about that, Pete. All right. Next up, we've got a Cleveland Indians, I believe, logo 47 hat. I don't think I got this one. I think we sold it for like 25 bucks. Yeah, 23 or $24, part of the sale. And I want to say we paid $6 for those. I don't even remember where, but I believe we paid $6. I normally wouldn't buy a 47 hat for more than $6. I'm not here to be attacked. I'm not attacking you. You're leaving and abandoning us. You're moving across the country. Or up the country, I guess I should say. That's not our fault. So, just saying. No, I can't say anything, right, Pete? I moved all the way out here, so. That's what Dylan reminds me of all the time, at least. All right, going out to Ryan in Prosper, Texas. Let's get rid of this one here. I swear I sold more than hats, guys. This is crazy. I mean, we did sell a lot of hats, but I feel like we haven't even touched any of the clothing and interesting stuff yet. But we're getting there. We'll get there eventually. I don't know how long I'm going to do this stream. How long have we been on here so far? Looks like an hour and 15, so I'll keep going with it for a little while here until I just really run out of things to talk about, or people quit watching, one of the two. But I'm going to be here all day. This is going to take forever. Speaking of, we'll finally get to one of those things. All right, this is a cool sale. A bad buy, honestly. I shouldn't have bought this, but I did because it was a hype item in bread and butter. We were finding them in Burlington's and Ross and stuff like that, and they were selling at the time pretty well, but they got flooded, as with everything retail, it seems like these days. Picked these up for $19.99. This is a members only branded jacket, and this particular one is a Jean. Is it a Jean Michael? Or Jean Michel? I can't pronounce that name. Basket. Pretty interesting, very bright windbreaker. But we sold that one. Like I said, picked it up for 20 some dollars, I think, at Ross or Marshall's, and we only sold it for 45. So made a 10, 15 bucks off of it. But I've had this one forever also. Still brand new with the tag, so that's nice. I have had these forever, so not a great buy. But we'll take it. It is what it is. Let's check out these bags, actually, while we're here. These are these eBay zip bags I mentioned earlier that we ordered just for the fun of it to see what they were. And see if it was something we could use. I don't know if they're meant to ship. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. So they're just literally basically a Ziploc bag. Oh, I don't know how to get one out, though. Oh my goodness, without taking them all out. So it's just a Ziploc bag. It says eBay on it. I guess you could use these like as a poly bag for clothing if you were storing them in here. But they're not cheap. I want to say 100. I think they come out to like 25, 30 cents a bag or something, which is more than a poly mailer. So I don't know why exactly you'd use them, unless you're just like me and you got them for free. But we're going to throw this one in here for the fun of it, maybe, if it'll fit. And no, it's not going to fit. We'll save it for something else. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I had a little bit of that coupon left, so that's why I bought them. But I don't really know what you would use them for other than just like a poly bag. And like I said, you can buy polys for way cheaper than that. They are Ziploc, so they're cool. They're maybe reusable. I don't know. But again, they have eBay on it, so why would you reuse them? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too hard on this. If you know what you would use these zip-up bags, Crystal, if you watch this later or you're in here, let me know. Would you use these for like clothing and stuff? Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Again, you can just put them in a poly bag like we've got back here or somewhere. Just these plain poly bags, and that would work, and they're cheaper. So I don't know why you would do it, but oh well. Laura, going out to Laura in Greendale, Wisconsin. In the members only jacket. I kind of want to just save these as DHL. I'm tired of having to type in postal every time on this. All right, next up we have, I would have gone paddleboarding. I got invited to stuff people don't like. Stuff people know I don't like. Wait, I only get invited like baby showers and weddings. Yeah. I would have invited you, but you always act like it's so far away. Okay, I'm back. Did you buy any of the Dallas puffer jackets from the group? I didn't even see them. When did those get called out? If it's been called out in the past week, I haven't paid any attention, to be honest. But yeah, I didn't even see the Dallas ones. I'm not buying fourth quarter inventory, which I should, but I've not been investing in it, like especially jackets and stuff like that, because I'm planning to move through fourth quarter, and so I'm trying not. I don't want to have to hold on to them for longer than that. I should be, honestly, but I just feel like what I've got now is still decent fourth quarter selling items, and I'm just trying not to have 2 houses worth to move instead of 1. So that's why I haven't done it. I haven't really paid much attention to it. These we picked up at Burlington a while back. They tanked bad, again, as a lot of stuff does when they get a lot of them. But Burlington's had a ton of these. They're just like a windbreaker, a Nike like windbreaker shirt. It's not necessarily a jacket. But we picked these up. Like I said, they're retail for $60, paid $13. We are selling them for $36. I think I put this on the 10% off sale because it's just taken forever for them to move. But I think they just got tanked out pretty bad when there were so many of them available. So I don't mind holding out on it. Like I said, this stuff will start coming in. Sports are already in full effect, so hopefully this stuff keeps selling like it is or has the past week or two. And these bags are annoying. You can't get anything in them even. So I'm guessing this is what this is for. So you can throw, a loose item like this in here. And maybe if you were shipping a bunch of them, together. Because they are like, if you've ever ordered off Shein, you get stuff shipped in poly or these Ziploc bags like this. But again, I don't know why. And the only reason I would use them is if I was using them to store like clothes. Like a lot of people that have a lot of bulk clothes, they store them in boxes, like open top boxes, and you don't want them to get dirty, so you could throw them in these. I could see that. But again, you can get plastic polys or even these polys here or whatever for way less money. So I'm still stuck on that. Gotta move on to the next topic, but I'm guessing that's what that's for. This is going out to Ben in Albion, Indiana. I've lived in Indiana. I've never heard of that place before. No. You have to come out next time, Pete. You can just fly. It's not that far now. And we'll go paddleboarding and tubing and all the stuff you like to do. I actually flipped the canoe while I was out there. Luckily, I was only in about 2 feet of water, but getting into the canoe, I flipped it in about 2 feet of water. That was fun. Didn't plan on being soaked the rest of the day, but I ended up being soaked the rest of the day. Let's see. That makes it. Yo, I live in Indiana. Small world, really. What area? Or you don't have to tell me exactly what state or whatever, but what city or anything, but what area? I lived in Indianapolis area, Greenwood, or not Greenwood, sorry, over toward Greenfield, Ingalls, all that stuff. But I've got a lot of family actually from there, and some people that actually follow here as well in Indiana. Lived there for about 4 years, doing retail. I didn't. That was before doing a lot. I still sold and resold on the side, but that was before going full time. Next up is a really cool hat. I picked up this one again for $12, $13, something like that. Not the 25 that's on this sticker that I got to peel off. But these are just Toronto Blue Jays, but it's a camo plaid. Okay, 2 hours south of Indy. That's crazy. I've got a cousin that actually lives south of Indy. I don't know if she wants me telling everybody where she lives, but let's say Shoals, Indiana, I guess. That area, Lagoda, something like that. I can't even remember where they live, but it's somewhere down there. But that's kind of southeast or southwest a little bit. But this one here, yeah, like I said, camo plaid, it's a really cool hat. If they had it in the team I liked, I'd actually keep one of these, but pretty cool. Going out to Randall in Flint, Michigan. We paid, like I said, $13 for these, sold it for $42.74. And that's pretty good for a snapback. Fitteds we can get a lot more for, but snapbacks don't tend to go quite as high. Going to Randall. All right. Oops, I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, man. Yeah, Indiana, I liked it, but it wasn't anything crazy for me. I enjoyed the West more. Again, I kind of grew up out here more, so that's probably why, but I didn't mind it there. Ended up, I was down actually toward Louisville. Man, I can't even think. Corden, that area for a little while. Had some friends and stuff down there. So I used to go visit them. I just realized this hat has a price on the bottom and I didn't take it off. Almost missed that. Retail on those is $33.99. I get crap from a lot of people for selling my hats for full retail, which is funny. And all I can say is, why not? Why should I sell for less? Some people just don't understand hats, or old hats and hats that are discontinued and stuff like that. They don't understand the market for it. So it doesn't make sense for them. Obviously, I'm not going to go buy hats from Ross or Burlington and they're not going to sell for retail well, except for that one. That one that sold for $75, sold for double retail, but not all those are going to do that, but especially if they're older discontinued ones, you can get a lot of money from. Let's see, gotcha. Oh, we got corn and that's it. Wow, you live 30 minutes away. Wild. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's not much out there. There's a lot of corn, I guess. No, I think what's cool about out there though is you get interaction with you could go different places. Everything's a lot closer. Out here in the West, it's 3-4 hours between big cities and 4 or 5 hours, stuff like that. Whereas I feel like it's a little more close back there. I mean, when I say that, I'm saying like from me to the next big city or whatever. I'm all talking off camera over here. That's what's kind of cool about back east a little bit more is you can, you don't have to drive crazy far distances to go to some of these bigger cities or find stuff to do. There's a lot more. Out here, it tends to be quite a bit if you don't live near a big city or in a big city. There's definitely more, but pretty interesting. All right, let's see here. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to double check and see if I can get some of these out to the post guy. I don't think he's come yet. But we're going to find out here in just a second. So bear with me. I'm going to take just a second to run a couple of these bags out there. Oh, no, it does look like they came already. All right, so we'll have to wait. All right, never mind. We're not going to do that then. All right, what do we got next? Sold a rubber duck. How about that? This guy's seen a little bit better days. Hopefully they don't care too much. I picked these up at a bin store for, I want to say it was $8 for a big bag of them, probably 30 to 40 in the bag. As you can see, the retail price is $1 on it, but those pull right off. I don't know where these were sold, but they are Disney branded. This is the frozen Olaf duck. and they're just literally bath toys. But if you're familiar with Jeeps and or if you've been in that community or anything, they do what's called ducking. They'll leave rubber duckies on other Jeeps and stuff. It's like a, I don't know what you call it, an inside club, I guess you could say, whatever. Anyways, so a lot of these individual unique ducks sell really well and sell for more money than you think. This one I actually got $12 for. So someone paid $12 for that little tiny rubber duck, and we paid maybe 20 cents for it. So that was pretty cool. Something banging outside here. Let's see here. Make sure no one's at my door. That was weird. Just heard a big bang. Don't know what's going on. But yeah, so the rubber ducky here we're going to ship out. I have been cheating, guys. Some people may not like this. I've been using these polys, or no, I'm sorry, not the poly, these flat rate envelopes as packing material, for instance, in these boxes. There's a couple reasons for that. I don't want to get a whole lot of hate for this, but I do it because I ended up with a ton of boxes. I used to use these a lot before getting the corporate account, and so I used them a lot. Then I don't use them now, and my post office actually told me that they won't take them back because they can't get rid of them either. You know, nobody uses them that much anymore. So I've gone ahead and started using them in priority mail. Shipping this priority mail, obviously I will use it to kind of just work as packing inside these boxes. So that's why I'm doing it, because like I said, I don't want to just trash them. They're still useful. But if the post office won't take them back, then there's not much else I can do with them. You can't sell them or anything like that. So we're using them as packing until we run out, at least. But I've got a lot of them. I've got, I think, 4 or 5 more cases of them in the garage, or in the storage unit. All right, next up, what do we got going out? We have another pair of those sandals. So we did have another pair of these. Oops, those are the wrong ones though. These ones here, $8 into $32. $8 into $32. Finally selling. Glad to see these go. All right. There we go. Trying to think if we saw anything unique on the way down. I don't feel like we even seen anything. Had a pretty uneventful trip as far as traveling, which isn't always the case. Normally you see something interesting, but this is going to Virginia and Naples, Florida. I don't know what my dog is barking about, but hopefully you guys can't hear that. It's awfully loud. So what are we doing this week? What are your guys' plans for this week as far as reselling, or even just in general if you're not a reseller? Because I know there's some of you that watch and support, and I appreciate that. For me, myself, and we are going to be doing some just basis. Oh, the garbage man, that's what he's barking at. We're just going to be doing some general maintenance. I'm actually going to take it easy this week. I could try to push it really hard, but I honestly stayed super busy last week and ended up working not on my business, but some other stuff. So I do need a day or two where I'm just going to kind of take it easy. I'll ship orders, maybe refresh a few listings, but I'm going to take it easy, try to get caught back up on some sleep, all that good stuff. And then we are going to probably go out a little bit of sourcing this later on this week. And then next week, we're going to try starting on the website that we've talked about. So I'm super excited to get started on that. At the same time, I'm a little worried about it because I'm not a graphic designer. So hopefully I can make something that's still appealing and doesn't look too cheesy. I'm a perfectionist though. I spend way too much time on stuff. That video that I actually uploaded, the Burlington video, took me 2.5 full days to video edit and get done. It was ridiculous. Honestly, it took me way too long, but I'm just kind of a perfectionist and I didn't like how it came out anyway, some of the sound and stuff like that, but it's the best I could get it to be done. But it takes me a long time. So I'm kind of worried of doing this website if I'm going to struggle with that and end up not wasting time, but being too picky on what's going on with it. This hat here was a really cool hat, and I got busy talking and forgot to say it. But this is a Arizona Diamondbacks 4th of July from back in 2022. It's a really cool hat. Let me see. I can pull up a picture here and show you guys. I actually really liked this one. I almost kept it, but decided against it. Again, I probably would never wear it, so why keep something that you're not going to use? At least that's what I keep telling myself. Even though I have a whole collection of pop figures that I never use. But it's a pretty cool hat. Let me flip it around here. This is the Arizona Diamondbacks 4th of July hat. Really cool. And we sold that one for $47.49. Going out to Mark in Phoenix. Let's see. I'm going to try and get a better spot set up for photos and go from 2 listings a day to 4. Nice. So out of curiosity, do you do multiple listings at a time and then schedule them out? Or do you list for, like right now, are you listing 2 items every day? Like today you'll list 2 and then tomorrow you'll get on list 2? Because like for me, I've always done it. I'll list like 20 items today and then I'll schedule 2 for the next 10 days. But I'm just curious how you do it, because a lot of people do it differently. Me personally, I have to sit down and do it. I can't go from one thing to another. I kind of get, I don't want to say annoyed, but it bothers me. This is a crazy sale. I can't believe these sold. I bought these at a bin store, and it was a local bin store. It wasn't my big one where I normally check everything. I didn't check these, and someone had pulled a switcheroo on Amazon and sent back their old shoes, as you can see. The bottoms of them are nasty. They're pretty good condition, honestly, besides, like I said, the soles have some marks on them and stuff like that, but the insoles are actually fairly clean. No major scuffs or anything like that on the shoes, but like I said, they look bad, obviously. I actually tried to clean these up a little bit before I listed them, and it just wasn't working, so I just listed them how they were. These sold for $35.99, which is crazy. I actually paid $9 for them at the bin store. Almost threw them away. Literally had them in the trash. I was like, you know what? I better check them. And sure enough, they're Echoes. They're a pretty decent name brand. And even in that condition, sold for $35.99. And we made a profit on it. So can't complain with that. It did take a little bit to sell, but pretty crazy that you could sell used shoes for like $40, almost $40. I think I had them listed at $40, and then I put them on the 10% off sale. So crazy stuff. I don't know. I could not buy used shoes. I just couldn't do it. That's just me though. But some people do. And these sold. All right, so we're gonna throw them in here. I probably shouldn't have even used a box, honestly, since they are used, but we'll leave it for now. I'm gonna throw a packing bubble in here just because I don't want the box lid coming off. And give a little bit of presentation. And these are going out to Gabriel. Let's see where Gabriel's at here. In Lubbock, Texas. That's actually not that far from me, where I am now. Let's see. So where I'm struggling with my side of eBay is getting decent inventory. So I try really hard to get enough decent items to just keep a consistent 2 items per day. Gotcha. Yeah, if you're down there, if you are down in southern Indiana, yeah, it'd be interesting to see where you had to source from. Like I said, once you learn, and I don't want it to sound like, oh, I know all this stuff because I've been doing this for so long. That's not why I say this stuff, but it really is. Once you learn different items that you could source, you'll get to a point where the inventory problem isn't there. My problem now is not inventory. I can find all the inventory I need. It's the fact that I shouldn't be buying that much inventory. But it's because of having multiple areas that I've learned to source, not just locations, but how do I put it? Different items, different categories, and mine are changing all the time. So again, I know a lot of people have a hard time getting started, and I did. I used bin stores, and I had several bin stores, so that's what got me started, and that's why I was able to build up so much inventory really fast. Without that, I know it is harder to find some good inventory, especially if you're not in an area that has a ton of options. But what I would do is, no matter what store you go in, whether you're going into grocery shop, whether you're going in to, you know, pick up something that you ordered, always check the clearance aisles, and you'll know stuff that you might buy on a day-to-day basis. That's some of the best stuff to really find is, you know, toothpaste that's on sale or something like that. Anything like that that you can find too. And you'll start noticing that I can go into any store and find a couple of profitable items in a clearance section, almost guaranteed. Even Walmart, which is so oversaturated now with people that only shop there, it's really hard to find sometimes there, but there's still opportunities. And it's discouraging at first because I understand, like I said, you know, when you have the means to buy the inventory but can't find the inventory, it's really frustrating. But I would just try to, like I said, think outside the box. Think of stuff that, you know, you may not think is worth it, but you go into a store and they have a ton of it. Check those items out. Check out items that have nice packaging, kind of like you do with bin stores. I'm sure if you're into the bin store portion of it, you'll see, you know, certain packages that just catch your eye and you know it's going to be worth something. You can do that in retail stores too, but you definitely want to branch out and not, you know, just try to stay too focused on one area. It's best to stay on stuff you know, but if you don't have that inventory available, then start looking in other areas. For me, like I said, right now, shoes and hats are basically my game. I don't mess with clothing as much. I do have some, and you know, I'll come across a good deal or something every now and then, and I'll do that. But I don't focus on clothes. That's more of a, if I find it, it's great. But if I actually did, I know there'd be a lot of opportunities for me in clothing itself. So, but like I said, I understand the, you know, it being a lot harder to find, especially with being a smaller area to shop from. Because like I said, I have a good area around me because I'm an hour or so, but I have to drive an hour or so to get to some of my, you know, my local places that I source. And otherwise my local, literally within 15 minutes of me, has nothing. There's nothing there. So I feel your pain. So I got these eBay boxes with my last coupon. Like I said, I didn't really need anything, so I just tried to find something new. And I bought them for these smaller shoe boxes. Now these are some really cool Batman Puma shoes that we picked up from Marshall's. Paid 25 bucks for them. They had good comps at the time, but I think people just oversaturated them or bought too many. Let's see, men's size 9s. And yeah, so, but we did get 7. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe, no, never mind. I don't know what I was talking about. I just have my price too high. Paid $24.99 for them, and we sold them for $71.99. So I really need to go through and check some of my pricing, because I'm starting to notice some of these items that sold with the discount were just maybe not overpriced, but I had a lot of room to come down to market, and I probably just haven't paid attention to them. So I wouldn't normally ship these in the box with the lid cut off like this, but I think I'm going to this time, just to keep it a little more sturdy. This box is way too big, so it's way too high, and I was kind of afraid of that. It's like an 8-inch box, so I don't know what we're gonna do. Oops, drop the shoes there. Might have to, I don't know what to do with these ones. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna pull them out and just ship them in a USPS Priority Mail box, or a shoe box. That's what we're gonna do. I know Pete loves when I try 20 different boxes for one item. Let's grab this one. All right. Oh, I did have, I'm starting to remember some things I was going to talk about. We have one Burlington, and it is the hot spot. The shoe section always has 5 or 6 people in it with their phones out. That's crazy. So in your small town, you've got 5 or 6 people in the Burlington. Wow. So that's crazy to me, because I've never run into another reseller in Burlington, and I have 7 of them around me that I hit. When I say around me, they're within an hour drive of me, hour and a half. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy that you have that much competition. Wow. Yeah, like I said, I've never run into competition. I've seen some people sourcing. I actually ran into a guy in one of my close stores that does Amazon, and he was out there scanning every single item, just finding stuff profitable. Not in the shoe section, but in other areas. And so I've run into them. I've had a couple people that have stopped and talked to me in like Ross before, but not like competition, like, full on comping in the aisles. That's crazy. That would be rough. I don't like dealing with that anyways. But the most competition I get is at, what's it called? At one of my local, guess you call it a honey hole, whatever you want to call it, my local place I can't really talk about. I get a couple people in there that I compete with quite a bit. And then obviously the bin stores. You get a lot of people in the bin stores. But yeah, that's crazy that you have that many people. That sucks. I'm sorry for you there, because that means you got to go every day almost to try to get something. No. Yeah, I've been lucky. Like I said, I've ran into resellers before, but not much really in wholesale spots, or not wholesale. Whatever those places are called, like discount stores, like Burlington's and stuff like that. I don't run into them very often. I know they're out there because some of my places get picked clean rather quickly. But like I said, I've never had an issue there. That's crazy. Next up on the order list, let's see what we got here. Trying to keep things organized with how many orders we've got. I don't want to get too unorganized back here, otherwise I'm going to lose things. This next order I'm not going to be shipping right this minute. It's pretty big, but this is a really cool big sale that I got over the weekend. This is a motorcycle racing jacket, women's, for like your street bikes and stuff like that, not necessarily, off-road. But this is an Alpine Stars Stella GR Plus R V2 airflow leather jacket in women's size 6. I actually sold this overseas, had these listed. I got these in an auction. So this is, one of you guys was just mentioning, buying stuff from your hobbies. And like I said, one of my big hobbies is off-roading and stuff like that. I actually ran into an auction that was a motorsports company that was clearancing out a ton of old stock that they were just getting rid of, and ended up spending, I think, $8 grand, $9 grand, something like that at that auction, buying a lot of motocross stuff, parts, and all kinds of things. I made crazy money off of it. This particular jacket, I believe I might have had $100 in it, actually, but it sold for $350. Had it listed for $400 and took a best offer for the $350 because I have had them for a year and a half. But it is going overseas, so whoever bought it probably paid a lot more for it. I don't know if it'll tell me how much they paid. Maybe if I hit see more details. I don't know. They probably paid a lot for it though. No, I don't know. Doesn't show me. Interesting. But anyway, that's going out to them, and we'll get that shipped out probably tomorrow. Like I said, it's a bigger item, and they're actually a lot bulkier to ship. It's not just a jacket per se. It's actually got pads and stuff like that in it. So we'll have to ship that out here later on. We got a hat going up next, but let's see. So I feel like they are so hyper focused in shoes, they miss on the other stuff. Our Burlington has $10 or less undie section, always loaded up. Any suggestions on the ones to look out for? Yeah, if you're looking if you're talking about the underwear and stuff like that, Nike for sure, Calvin Klein. Calvin Klein's, you got to be careful. Some of the models get super saturated on eBay, so they'll tank really bad. But I always pay attention to Nike, Calvin Klein, Under Armour, and I would say Polo, Ralph Lauren. I'm trying to look. I've actually got boxes of stuff over here that's all underwear. I think that's pretty much it. You can do the Tommy Hilfiger, but you just have to, again, comp it pretty well, because some styles sell really well and others don't. So any of those 4 or 5, you can actually make money on New Balance as well. They don't sell as fast, and again, you want to comp each particular style to see. And when I say style, not necessarily color, but boxer brief, briefs, whatever they are. Make sure you comp that particular style. But yeah, you can make a lot of money. I love selling underwear. It sells, it never comes back, even on Amazon. I very rarely get returns over there on it. It's really nice, so I recommend it, and you can make a lot of money on it. But those would be the brands I would check. For sure, Nike. Nike sells super, super fast if you price it competitively. Next up, we have this Ghost Rider San Francisco Giants hat. Kind of a cool Marvel crossover, I believe. Was it Marvel or just superhero? Not Marvel, but fitted 13 into 6174. Had this one listed for 65. That's a little high, honestly. Now that I've kind of gotten into the market even more over the past year or two, I noticed some of the ones I bought in the beginning are a little higher priced, but they do still sell every now and then, so I don't mind it. I'll eventually go through one of these days and go through all my hats and kind of make sure I have a more uniform pricing to them, but they still sell. And like I said, 64, and from that one retail, and that was $54.99. So we will take it. A little bit tight. These boxes are a little off. Not quite square. Burlington's awesome. Burlington's a really good source. If you're looking into RA, I like to find other RA options that I can buy more than just one of. And what happens is if you can buy more than just one of them in Burlington, it means everybody's getting that many in their stores, most likely. So you have to kind of watch out for that. Tank. When I say that, not that it's just going to always tank, but you can't go by, if you find it, you know, when the first day it comes out and there's not a ton of new listings, then you got to make sure, you know, to expect it to drop in price some. But there's a lot of money to be made in Burlington, as is Marshalls and Ross. I just feel like Burlington tends to have a better selection. Next order is Joe. Guys, we are halfway through. I don't know how long I'm going to keep going here. If you guys get bored, you just let me know. We'll run it longer than normal probably, but like I said, we are just now halfway through our orders, so I've got a long way to go here. Joe in Fresno. Here we go. Got his label right here. And this isn't even it. This is 60 of the 90 orders that I plan on doing today, and then the other 30 I'm going to do tomorrow. Those were some later orders, and some of the obviously orders from today too are in there. So we've got some more of those, but we're going to do those probably tomorrow. I'm just trying to get through these for now and move on after that. All right, next up in the order list, we have the last pair of these. This is just a different colorway, and we actually did pay $10 for these. Paid a little bit more for this colorway. But these ones here sold for $31.49 as well. And like I said, all three pairs sold. I've had these forever, and all three pairs sold within like a couple of days of each other, just going on a 5% off sale. So I don't know. Oh, you know what? Maybe this was a 10% sale. This was the 10% sale. Okay, maybe that was why. Maybe I just had them priced too high to begin with. But $31.50 is still decent. 10 into 30, I'll take that all day long. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm sitting here thinking about my last trip to Burlington and stuff. I did actually run into some resellers that were doing bags, purses and luggage and stuff like that. And I ran into them in 3 different stores that I went to. I was going through all the ones in the city there and ran into them 3 different times. Didn't talk to them or anything, but they had literally carts heaped full of the like purses and stuff like that. And I actually asked a couple of the employees, I talk to them every time I go in there, and was talking to them, and they said, yeah, they said they come in quite a bit. If they don't stack them in carts and like buy them in bulk, then they steal them. He's like, or all our big ones either get bought out, or all our higher name brand and better quality stuff gets bought out by these resellers, or people steal them. And he's like, they go one of 2 places, which is sad. But yeah, so I have ran into other resellers with that stuff, but like I said, never shoes. I feel like shoes are great, but I don't know. I feel like I find just as much in other areas of that store than just shoes. Next up, we've got these Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star Madisons. These flamingo pink leather. Really cool shoe. Women's shoe. Wouldn't necessarily wear them myself, but they are a really unique style and design. So we ended up buying a bunch of these, and I'm actually glad they're selling because I was afraid I bought too many. But they are selling, and they're selling pretty consistent. Pick up my box. They are these here. Like I said, just a leather low top, but a really unique colorway and stuff, and they seem to be selling really well. They're really soft on the inside too. Maybe I will buy a pair. No, just kidding. We picked these up from the the Kohl's clearance event for $39, half off of $39, so $20. And this particular pair sold here for $52.24. So 20 into 50 is not terrible. Let's peel that display tag off too. I recommend that, guys. If you have display tags, or if the box shows a display tag, make sure to peel that off. People just don't want to see that. Half the time they're not even displays. It might, they put them in a different box or whatever, but just want to make sure. Don't give any more reason for the customer to return it as possible, even if you have returns off. This is going to Puerto Rico as well. These particular ones, doing a lot of business over to Puerto Rico. If you guys don't have Puerto Rico on, I would recommend it. You might want to only, I would probably ship mostly priority mail because some of the others can take a lot longer. But priority mail is pretty much just as fast a delivery. And what's it called? Can't think. And it doesn't cost any more than like shipping across country. So like if you're, you know, shipping to California or wherever the furthest distance is, it doesn't cost any more than that. I have had zero issues shipping. I shouldn't say zero. I've had a couple customers lose things or whatever, but or not lose it, but get lost in mail, but not any more than any other place. Like literally, you know, I've had more lost mail recently from all over the US and have had less from Puerto Rico. So I would recommend opening it up if you don't have it set up to be allowed already. Speaking of lost mail, I can't remember if I told you guys about the last issue I had with Post Office or not. We sold that flashing tape for doing construction and roofing and stuff, and we sold 4 of them on Amazon. I actually sold all 6 that I bought from the bin store on my last trip down to Arizona. And so we shipped that, and we shipped, like I said, the one order was for 4 of those. Got lost in the post office. The buyer contacted me and said, there's not much I can do. You know, post office says it's still out or still on its way, but it wasn't updating or anything. So I contacted them, opened a case after the 15 days or whatever, opened an insurance claim for it. That order was $350 some. Amazon actually went through and approved that A to Z claim off in the favor of the buyer, so the buyer got a refund, but they didn't pull it from my account. They refunded it themselves, which is crazy. Amazon doesn't do that very often, and like I said, this was a huge order, you know, $350 order, $360, something like that. And so I got the email, scared me to death because I seen it and said, you know, we've decided in the buyer's favor and have refunded them, but have not pulled it out of your account, whatever that message is. And I was like, oh goodness, thank goodness, you know. Well, I'd already filed the insurance claim and everything. That insurance claim actually got approved. So I ended up making an extra $100. Obviously, they wouldn't cover the whole $350. It was just the regular priority mail, coverage. But we ended up getting another $100. So Amazon refunded the buyer, didn't charge us for it, and then we actually got $100 back for the lost item. So that one actually turned out really good, which does not happen very often, but makes up for it. And like I said, it just got lost in their system. Who knows? It might actually show up to the buyer, and the buyer might actually get it too. So we'll see what happens. Next up, we've got a pair of the Nike running shoes. We've been selling a lot of these. I put these on the 5% off sale, selling them for $56.99. I think we paid like $22. So again, kind of a volume play there versus super high margins, but I figured it was worth it just to keep those sales coming in while we were gone. Sold the size 12s, which are right here. Let's see, are these the black or the gray? These are the gray. So sold these ones here. These are wides, I believe. Or are they? No, these are not wide. These are just the regular ones. We sold a couple pair of these, so we'll be boxing up a couple of these. But these ones here, like I said, these ones look like we paid $22 for them from the Kohl's clearance event, and they sold for $56.99. So actually, that's really good. $56.99 is a pretty decent margin from 22. I don't know what it is right off the top of my head, but that's not bad at all. We'll take it. Let's see here. Anybody have questions, comments, anything you guys been doing? I'm running out of topics, guys, so let me know. I've been rambling for an hour and a half, 2 hours here about nothing. But if you guys have anything, what's going on, you know, it doesn't even have to be reselling related. We're just hanging out, chilling, shipping orders after this long vacation, and this label is not peeling off. There we go. All right, so we got the Kohl's one off. Size 12 is going to Medley, Florida. Medley, Florida. That's an interesting name. I haven't been there. What was I talking about? I was just getting ready to start talking about something. Oh, so let's see. I'm letting other people talk. Hey man, like I said, I don't mind it at all. keeps me motivated to keep going here. Gotta let some other people talk, huh? No. Oh man. So just a heads up, there is a Kohl's clearance event coming up. I'm not going to give dates. If you are interested in dates, you can let me know. But that is over in Bread and Butter, and I don't want to call that out. That's something obviously people pay for the Bread and Butter group, so we don't want to just share everything for free. But it is coming up. We do have some dates and information. If you are interested in Bread and Butter, I've kind of talked about it, but it's just a personal Discord group. Not my personal Discord group, it's Adam's. But I am a part of it. That we share leads, online leads, in-store leads, help each other out with questions and comments and whatever you're doing in your reselling. If you're looking for something particular or have a question on anything at all, there's a bunch of really good resellers over there that have been doing this for a while, and it's really, really helpful. It's something, like I said, it is $39 a month, so it does have a cost to it, but literally I have never gone a month without finding several good leads in there that turned around and made me all my money back plus hundreds of dollars, literally. And I'm not out here just, blowing smoke. It is really good if you are into online and retail arbitrage. I would highly recommend it. If you're not into those, there's still some value to it. Obviously, there's a lot of knowledge, and everybody is super helpful. I'm over there all the time answering questions as much as I can. There's several other sellers that do it as well, so you always have kind of a backup and a resource to help you out there. There's still value to it even if you don't, but like I said, the main reason for the group is those call outs. We call out sales, we call out really good deals, price errors, all that type of stuff whenever we see them. So if you are interested in that, feel free to shoot me a message. I would much rather talk to you about it first before you go and sign up and spend your money on it, to make sure that it's something that you feel is going to be worth your time and effort. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on it. Like I said, I do make a small commission off of it, and I want to be very clear with that. So I don't want anybody to think, that I'm, trying to pull the wool over their eyes or anything like that. They do help support me with those signups if you do sign up through my link, and it helps support the channel. But like I said, I want to talk to you first and make sure, it's something that, you feel is going to be worth it before you do that sign up. So feel free to hit me up either here on YouTube, or you can check out my Instagram. We'll be getting a Facebook page and stuff like that up soon as well. But for now, we are on Instagram at Delco Resells, and there'll be links in the description to all of that information as well. So just a quick plug there for that. But like I said, I talk about it a lot. I mention a lot. Several of you that watch are actually in the group as well. So there's a lot of, it's helped me out a lot, and honestly it's helped me get into this retail arbitrage and all that much more so than I ever could have on my own. It really has helped out a lot. So if it's something you're interested in, let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer questions or share more information on it with you. This is going out to Juan in La Vista. Oh, no. This is the Medellin, Florida one. Gotta make sure I got the right thing there. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's see. Next, we got a couple comments. I'm also in Indiana and still mad that he moved away. Thanks, Crystal. I know. You can come out here, though. There's nothing stopping you from coming out here with us. All right, Crystal, I need him to move back and show me how it's done. Oh, man. I enjoyed my time in Indiana, and I really do miss Crystal and her family. They're my cousins. Really do miss hanging out with them and getting to spend time with them and their family. But I'm not going to lie. I think family is the only thing back there that I just miss. I enjoyed out here, so it's hard to juggle. But it is one of those things. Like I said, I can't say I didn't like Indiana. I just like out here better. It's just how it is, unfortunately. Unfortunately for you guys. No. All right, we got some more cleats that sold. These are the Nike Alphas. I don't remember if I bought these in the last. I might have bought these in that Burlington sourcing video. I'm not sure. Paid $19.99 for them. They sold for $61.74. These are baseball and they're metal cleats. I could be completely wrong, but I know there's a lot of leagues that don't allow metal cleats. I'm not sure if that's still the case or if that's just like youth programs. So I kind of held off on buying some of these. I know I bought a lot of the trouts and stuff like that in the last, you've seen in the Burlington sourcing video, but I don't know if they're allowed, and so I kind of held off on buying any more. These ones sold for a good price, but these are also, I want to say these were picked up last year, so they probably have come back up in value from being tanked from last year, and I haven't seen very many of these in store. But like I said, still a good pickup, 20 into 62, and that was with our sale running. Probably had them listed about 65 before that. Let's see. I'd love to come out there, but that is actually a million things. But there is actually a million things keeping us from just moving there. Yeah, no, I understand, Crystal. You know, I understand. It's not a. There's all kinds of things that come into moving, especially when you go that far away. I completely understand. No, it's okay. I'm not sure why I still live here. It's one of those things. There's always going to be that, you know, that type of stuff. You got Adam over there, actually, Grim. Well, I mean, I think he's in Dayton, isn't he? Dayton or Columbus? One of those two. He's a little closer to you. But yeah. I understand, guys. Like I said, the only reason we're here and the only reason we moved here is because of my wife's job being in the military. You don't get much say when it comes to that. So that's why we're here. It was a big move for me to move to Indiana from out here, and I enjoyed it, but there were just things I, had to do. I felt like to get back into here, and there's always positives and negatives, and there's always going to be things that draw you more one way or the other, and that's where you should be. I mean, it's, at the end of the day, you may want to be somewhere else, but there could be a lot of things that keep you somewhere, and that is completely understandable. We've got these Gymshark shirts these are tank tops here. We picked up from the Gymshark call out in Bread and Butter. That's another Bread and Butter call out. That I don't remember who posted that. It was crazy. They had a crazy sale. Had all these listed for like $2 and $3. It was like a 30-minute blowout sale. We thought it was a price error, and we were buying the daylights out of it. I mean, I know I bought hundreds of items, and I know a lot of the other guys did too. Let me make sure I got the right size here before I mess up. This is the size medium. Okay, so size medium. But yeah, we cooked the daylights out of it, and I would have ordered a lot more. We just didn't realize it was only a 30-minute sale. They didn't say anything about it. They just did a flash sale, and then it was a crazy flash sale. But like I said, that was a call out that somebody found and posted in the group, and they haven't done that since. So I don't think it's going to be a reoccurring thing, unfortunately. But that was a great call out, stuff that we keep an eye out for, and I didn't put a label on that one. And I've made so much money off those. We sold that one for $21 on the tank, going to George and Tucson. But yeah, just another one of those call-outs. You never know when those are going to happen, and you got to take advantage of them. Fortunately, I would have loved to have bought some more if I wouldn't have been being picky. Can't go wrong at $2 and $3 for a name brand like that. Let's see here. Next up, we've got Funko Pop going out. This is from a while back. This is old inventory that I have had for a long time that I finally went through and got listed on eBay. Bought it to hold on to hopefully resell. Funkos have just tanked really bad, so I don't recommend sticking with that anymore. Oh wow, that's crazy. So I put it in this box, but it actually doesn't fit, and I don't want to damage this. It should be okay. Famous last words, right? It should be okay. But we do ship them in these. This is Jimi Hendrix. I didn't even show it. Jimi Hendrix Blacklight Edition Funko Pop Rocks. The Rocks ones actually do hold value and tend to hold value. They don't typically mass produce them crazily. And some of the old Funko Pop Rocks, some of the old Elvis, DMC, a lot of those are crazy valuable. If you ever come across them in the wild, you'll not find them at shops, or if you do find them at shops, they're going to be way overpriced. But if you ever come across them like in yard sales or anything like that, or thrift stores, whatever, some of the older, I'm saying 2018 and newer, 2019 maybe and newer, are crazy good value on the Pop Rocks Music Edition ones. Let's see, Rant, what's up? Thank you for joining in. I actually started out trying to do Funko, never again. It's not what it used to be. I made really good money on Funko back in, I want to say 2016, 2017. Made really good money. Not the case anymore. No, like I said, I don't recommend it at all. I tried that one that we boxed up earlier, the Funko Droids, and I forgot to cancel the order because they said they were selling out of stock, and then on pre-orders, and then those companies put them back up for pre-orders, so they just obviously had more available to order and didn't have them listed. So it didn't work out, and the only reason I kept them is because it was going to cost me more to ship them back from where I bought them. So we broke even on it, and actually I think I have some more to ship out here in just a minute, but I think we broke even overall on it and got our money back. But yeah, not recommending the Funkos at all, unless, like I said, you find some older ones maybe at a thrift store or, you know, a secondhand or whatever. Then definitely worth checking them if they're definitely pre 2020, but probably pre 2019, 2018. They might be worth something. Never know on those ones. I actually found one in a Goodwill. This has been a while back, probably a year or so, year and a half. But I found a Buffy the Vampire Slayer in a thrift store, and I found another. It was a valuable one. I can't remember exactly which one. In a Hot Topic, it was one they found in the back behind a shelf, and just happened to catch it, and they didn't know what it was. They didn't realize it was an old one, and I got it, and it was like $40 or $50 one, so that was cool. But it doesn't happen very often. Next up, we got some New Balance white. These are the all white shoes, or well, white and gray shoes that we picked up a while back from the Kohl's clearance event. White and grays here. These are the size 9.5s. And they're the 4E wides. We paid $22 for these and sold them for $66.49. These were those ones that I was getting $69.99 for, but they stopped selling. When I say stopped selling, I probably got down to a couple of random sizes left, and they kind of quit selling on me. My listing isn't as hot as it was, but I put them on sale, and we actually sold a couple pair of them over the week. So maybe that's the key to it, guys. Maybe putting a sale, you should run sales more often. I don't. I only do it if I feel like I need a boost in sales, whether I'm having a really bad couple of weeks or I'm going to be on vacation or something like that, then I'll put it on. But I don't run sales on anything most of the time. But I think I might start, especially on older inventory, stuff that's been up for a year or more. I might start doing that because it worked really well on vacation. Maybe it was a coincidence, but seemed to work really well. I'm actually going to leave that tag on there. All right. Taking too much time here, guys. Gotta keep moving, keep hustling. But I want to get more into the underwear game, which sounds weird, but I do plan on trying to source some more bulk deals. I'm actually out. For a while there, I always had a really good listing on Amazon going and had, you know, several hundred boxes or whatever of them. I haven't had that in a minute since the Under Armour ones. They've kind of slowed down just because I'm down to those odd sizes. They'll pick up again once a couple of the styles hit my price. I don't tank them. I don't drop down to the lowest. I wait for them to hit my price because they always do. They're a popular brand, and I've not had any issues getting rid of them. It just takes time for everybody else to sell out and then yours to be that lowest price. But I'm down to like one style left, so I need to go and actually do some sourcing specifically for those. Most of that sourcing happens online, though, to be honest. And these are going to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Actually going to be headed there for Christmas this year. I was born in South Dakota, so it'd be cool to go back and see that. I haven't been back there since I was 2 or 3, so it'd be cool. We're going to spend some time with some of my wife's family back there. So that'll be pretty cool. Something different. Hopefully it doesn't snow, or, well, I mean, it's going to be snow. It's South Dakota, but hopefully it doesn't snow us in and we get stuck there. That would be not cool. Definitely not looking forward to that, but hopefully it doesn't happen. We'll see. All right. Moving on. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to Burlington today. What size am I looking for? I don't have a ton. Are you talking underwear and stuff like that? Large, extra large are probably the 2 top ones if you're looking at men's. Mediums do okay. Smalls, extra smalls sell slow. 2XL, 3XL do sell, but they tend to sell slower as well. I would say your large, extra large for sure. Maybe medium would be your top, like your your faster selling. But I buy if it's a good deal, I'll buy it all. It just takes longer for it to move. You won't move higher quantities of it. But if you're only listing one or two, if you only have one or two, I'd still buy. Doesn't matter what size. Again, comping the style, making sure the style is good. But your large, medium, some medium, but large, extra large for sure will sell faster than the other sizes, from my experience. Next up, we've got some flip-flops. These are the white Kias. These are kind of neat. Keepa Kais. Kind of a unique flip-flop. More of a, I don't know, not a slide per se. These are a size 12, men's size 12. Finally sold these. I've had them for a minute. I sold all the other sizes, and for some reason the size 12 had a lot of listings on it. So it took a minute for them to sell, but with 5% off, they did sell for $26.99. Oh, they must have had 10% off actually. Yeah, I probably had them listed for $29.99, and they sold for $26.99. We are shipping them a poly to keep them under a pound, and obviously they're already in a box, so there's no problem. Nike large. I'm going hunting. There you go, man. Good luck. No. Yeah, that's what everybody always needs, underwear. So it's one of those things that, I feel like would always sell, or at least should always sell. Hopefully nobody quits buying underwear. And like I said, most people don't think of it to resell, so that's why it's kind of one of those hidden categories, I guess you could say, that not everybody thinks of. So it's one of those. I wouldn't go buying them used, that's for sure. But it should be pretty good. I sell them all the time on Amazon, and I've had a couple get returned, but very few. And that's what everybody always asks, why would you sell them? You're just going to get them returned used. I'm like, very few people are that low to do it. Not going to say they aren't out there. I know Adam talks about getting some stained ones back before from Amazon. So people do it, but it's not near as much. People just know the sanitary portion of it and tend to not be that bad of a human being to return used underwear. But it does happen, I'm sure. All right, I need another bag. Running out of space here, guys, off camera. And like I said, we are not even close to being done yet. All right. Chris and I, do you sell them on eBay? Used? Or just in general? I don't think you mean used. Yeah, I sell both. I sell them on both. We actually sold some today, or we might get to them here eventually. But yeah, I sell them on eBay and Amazon. eBay don't get as good of prices on them most of the time, but there are some styles that aren't on Amazon, so you have to list them on eBay. So, but yeah, they do pretty good. Let's see. I know Adam does. I've sold a lot of the Tommy Hilfiger ones that I got a while back. Hey, I think you meant yeah, but hey, what's up? What was I saying? Yeah, I do sell them on what's it called, eBay as well, and I have done really well with them on there. I just tend to put them on Amazon if I can, because they'll sell faster and I'll sell more of them at a higher price. Next up, I'm not going to take it out because, again, we have it advertised as sealed. This is, but I'll show you a photo. This is a Funko Shop soda pop, and this is the 3-liter one. This is the Wampa Star Wars. Chance of Chase. All these are sealed. There is one Chase in the 4 boxes that I have. You can weigh them and find out. Oh, and now my camera's tracking me. But I don't know if this is which one. I'm honestly just picking them randomly. I was going to keep the Chase, but then I just decided to sell 3 of them and go from there. So there was Chance of Chase on that one. Let me fix my camera here. It's tracking me, which is cool, but it's a little too fast sometimes. Let's see here. Let's go standard. All right. So maybe it won't move around quite as much now. But we'll try it out. That way, because I keep walking over here off the frame, maybe it'll keep me in frame, and we'll give it a shot. Let me know what you guys think. Is it annoying, or is it actually helpful? Let's see. Crystal says, hey, I have sold used underwear on eBay. You can only sell used if they are vintage, but they can be good sellers, surprisingly. That is weird. I've heard that about the vintage thing, though. You can sell vintage on there or something. It's like, I don't know. Why would you buy vintage underwear? I guess I shouldn't say that. People buy used underwear from other people. Kind of weird. So I guess I shouldn't say nothing. I guess it shouldn't surprise me. Not that I shouldn't say anything. I'm gonna say whatever I want, but it shouldn't surprise me that used underwear sell. No, I don't sell used underwear. Just don't feel like you're asking for bad feedback with that. But anyway, and I didn't show this one. I'm gonna take it out. I'm doing terrible, guys, today. I keep forgetting to show you guys what I actually sell. We did sell this Funko Soda Auto as well, and I think this is fantastic plastics. Really cool soda actually. But again, I just bought these. These were like, this was a an SDCC 2022 Comic Con collectible or Comic Con exclusive. And there's only like 5,000 of those made, so it's pretty cool. But did sell that guy. He's going out to the same person that bought the Wampa Funko Soda, the 3-liter Funko Soda. I am using a reusable box. You guys won't see me do that very often, but I am going to be reusing this one just because it fit perfectly. Let's see. That one's going out to Coraline in Fall Rivers. Right. Oops. Did it weird. Okay. That makes no sense. So when I scan these labels on the multi tracking number upload, or what do they call it? Ad tracking, when you do multiple orders, it works fine. But for some reason, when I do it on the individual item, it shows up as DHL instead of USPS. So, interesting. All right, let's see. Is camera gonna follow me over here? That's pretty cool. You get to see the rest of my room. That's a mess, but it actually does. Like I said, it's blowing my mind how accurate it is. I wish it would center up a little more, like right here, where it would, I'm obviously over here, so it should center the shot up a little bit more. But that is pretty impressive for being automated. I mean, no one's controlling that camera. That's doing it all on its own. It's pretty crazy. All right, next up we have some Kansas City Royals baseball hats. These are 39.30s. Sold 2 of these actually to the same buyer. They pay $28.49 a piece for a total of $56.98 for the 2. Going out to Charles George III. Sorry, I shouldn't be naming the names. I won't say where he lives. I just read out his whole name. Privacy, what's it called? Can't think. When you don't do good with your privacy. Can't even think. Invasive. No, that's not it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been up too long, guys, and doing this too long. I'm going to start making some weird comments, so bear with me. We are at the 2-hour and 20-minute mark. We've got 4 people still in here, which is crazy. You guys, I appreciate all the people watching. You guys have stuck with me a long time here. We're going to keep going with it if you guys are cool with it. If you get bored, feel free. You don't have to watch the whole thing. And if you're still watching this on the replay, thank you so much. It is absolutely incredible that you guys have stuck around this long. I'm going to keep shipping orders. We're going to keep hanging out. You guys are welcome to stay or welcome to leave, however you want. But we'll just make this an extra long one since I did miss out last week. And you can just literally listen to me ramble about all this random stuff. How about that? All right. Next up on the order list, we've got... let's see. Like I said, let me know what you think of this tracking, guys. If this is annoying, then please tell me. I will turn it off. I wonder what would happen if I went live on YouTube while at Burlington and just titled it, "Help Me Find Flips." There you go. So I want to do a live. We've talked about this before, I think, in the channel. I want to do a live sourcing. I would have to either get another camera or something. If the audio keeps saying I'm being too loud. No, me being too loud, that couldn't happen, right? I want to do a live sourcing, but I'd have to have like 2 cameras, whether it was like a phone and a separate phone or something like that. I do want to do it. I'm going to do it one of these days just for the fun of it. But that would be funny. That would actually be pretty cool to see if you get anybody in there to help you out finding flips. I know when I first started it, I felt like I spent hours, and my my wife felt the same way. It felt like we spent hours in Burlington because I would look up every single pair of shoes that I thought was interesting. That, you know, obviously making sure they were Nike or Adidas or whatever brand, a good brand, but I felt like I spent so many hours, and now I can literally go through a Burlington in less than 10 minutes. Unless I start finding stuff, then, you know, obviously it takes a little bit longer, but, you know, I can run through a shoe department with 10 to 15 minutes and pretty much load my cart. I might comp a few of them and go. I thought Adam was crazy when he used to talk about that and, you know, how he could go through so many stores because it takes me forever, but I'm getting about the same way. It's just that experience is super helpful. Not going to say you still don't miss stuff, obviously, but it is. This is a plain blank or a plain black blank 47 cleanup hat. These are for like doing customs and stuff like that. I get these. They might have a tiny bit of like variation in color, or sometimes like this one here is probably because it didn't have any tags. Like I didn't find any damage on it or anything. But I get these from one of my suppliers along with those air hats and stuff like that. I get them for like $3, $4. And we sold this one for $27.99. And like I said, it's just a blank. And I have it listed as new without tags. So if you guys ever come across those, don't think just because they're blank that they're not worth something. They actually can be worth more. And they sell on Amazon too. I sold some white ones on Amazon for a while as well. I sold out of them already, but it's pretty nice. Actually, I might have one. Yeah, I did. This is my last one here that I'll be going out. And we sold that one over on Amazon. So pretty cool. All right, let's get this one out of here and move on to the next order. I'm not sure how to do. That's what I need to improve on. My speed is awful and the wife hates it. Yeah, I feel you, man. It's like I said, it does get better, and the more you source a particular store like Burlington or whatever, it'll get a lot better. I'm still slow on clothing and stuff because I don't know. Clothing is a little bit harder to comp too, just because there's so many variations and stuff. But it's kind of interesting to see, you know, how I can do one department so fast and another one I'm still slower at. My wife doesn't source with me anymore. She gave up on me on that. Every now and then we'll go into a store if I'm by it and, you know, I'm gonna stop in. She's fine with that. But we tried the sourcing thing once or twice, and she just gets aggravated, which is funny. Not that it's funny for her, but it's funny because you always hear about, you know, men getting aggravated with their wives for shopping. She actually shops pretty fast, so I can't complain there. But it is funny to say that my wife gets aggravated with me because I take too long shopping. This one's going out to Tyler. That's just another one of those Gymshark tank tops, and he is in Willow Springs. All right. Again, I think like $3 into 21. All right. Just realized I spent a lot of these videos looking down and not looking at you guys. Again, I know most of you watch this while you're doing other things, so it doesn't matter. But I kind of wonder sometimes about the video quality if it's like me doing something else. I don't know. That speed though will come, man. That speed is just, it's just doing it, and there is no way. That's what I think a lot of people misunderstand about reselling in general, is comping and all that stuff is a learned thing. It's not something you're going to just come up with out of nowhere. So it's kind of one of those things you just have to put the work and effort into it. And I'm not saying you're asking for a shortcut. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like, a lot of people, I feel like, get this idea that you can just make all this money super easy. It's like, it takes a long time to learn, and you can watch videos and they will help. But at the end of the day, until you get out there and just start doing it, especially with retail arbitrage, you just don't know. It's a whole nother thing. Crystal, that's funny because I rarely comp clothes anymore because I know it pretty well. Now hard goods is taking me forever, hoping I get faster with it. So I'm that way with shoes. I'm that way with hats. Sorry, not shoes. Not as much with shoes. There's still some shoes I just know right away. But I'm that way with hats. I very rarely comp hats anymore. I just know kind of what prices to go with. And I could get that way with clothing. Like I said, I just don't do it. I don't do it enough to get that way with clothing. But what I find, Crystal, too, and I don't know how this would work with you guys, is a lot of times when you have to comp even some of the stuff that you would think would be a lot more worth it from like Burlington's and retail, because if there's 20 of them on the shelf, then there's 20 in every single store pretty much. And so it should be worth $50, that, you know, that jacket or whatever. But a lot of times when there's that many, they go clear down. That's why a lot of people get the misconception that you could just base it off the price. For instance, these Nike shorts are $50. Retail $50. I think we sold them for 27 bucks because there's just so many of them out there. And most people don't realize that, and they think, oh, it's a $60 pants, I can't go wrong paying $10 for them. Well, everybody thinks that, and so then you end up with 1,000 listings on eBay and not what's it called, can kind of hurt you. But like I said, you could that could happen with hats or anything else for that matter. But you're right, once you learn it, you kind of, it goes so much faster, and you don't even have to comp certain things. Even other YouTubers I watch, Adam and some of the other guys will say the same thing. You know, I didn't have to comp that. You just know. I thought that with the cleats, with one pair of cleats, and I was completely wrong. It was still profitable, but I was completely wrong on what I thought. And so then I started actually checking before I bought tons of pairs of them from that last video. But it happens. All right, next up we have just another pair of these Nike. These are the gray size 9s. No, these are black. Grab the grays. Here we go. Make sure we get the right shoe to the right customer. It does get a little confusing when you end up with this many orders, and that's what I was kind of worried about with all these shoes. Luckily, they were kind of a variety and not all one style. But I am going to have to cut this here pretty soon because I forgot I'm going to have to call the post office and let them know there's this many packages. Because if they show up for the order tomorrow, they're not going to be happy. Let's see, 42. So we paid 22 for these, sold them for 57. Not a terrible come up, but again, more of a volume play with these than some of the others, like the Converse that we sell. But anytime you can get basic Nikes like these, any color combination almost, especially black, white, gray, some of your basic ones, they're almost always money and well worth picking up. Right. I'm half tempted. I probably won't until I start running low on boxes, but I think I'm going to start shipping some of these $50 pairs of shoes in polys. I know some other people have been talking about that, and they do it a lot. I used to, and then I got these boxes for cheap. You know, I paid like 60 cents or whatever, so I feel like it gives a better presentation. But I think I'm going to set like a $55, $60 price range, and then anything under that I'm just going to ship in the box in a poly. Like I said, I was doing it for a while, and I really don't think I had but maybe 1 or 2 complaints, and that was probably on Amazon when I was still shipping shoes on Amazon. So I might go back to that to just try to save some money and honestly save some space, because these, I'm going to have a stack of like 20 of these boxes for her tomorrow for my post office carrier, and they're not going to be able to get all that. Margot, Sylvia, all right. Add tracking for Miami, Florida. Right. We've got about 15 orders left here, guys. I'm going to go ahead and ship those on camera. So we'll go to these last 15, and then we will probably call it from there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, we still got some more orders, but I just realized we got 6 watchers in here. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Do appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. That helps us out a lot with the algorithm. I want to get some more people in here, not just to build the channel necessarily, but I think it would be a lot more fun. We can get some more people in here and get some more ideas. So if you know anybody that does this or is into reselling and they haven't, you haven't told them about it, I appreciate it if you let them know and share the channel out that way. Hopefully we can get it. We are coming up on 250 subscribers. I think we're at like 220 right now. I have to double check. But we're at 220. We're going to do some giveaways and stuff at 250. Not sure exactly what, but if you have some ideas on that, I'd be happy to hear them. But we do want to give back for all of you guys that have hung out, and especially those of you that watch. We'll probably do a live stream with those giveaways because that's what we're focusing on. So look forward to that. And like I said, I'm open to some suggestions. Can't give away everything, but would like to give back to you guys for the support and so on. And like I said, we'll do that. So share and get this out there if you haven't already. That's great. It'd be awesome if you could help us out with that. But overall, just like I said, just want to be able to get more people in here, get some more content. That way we can have questions, and you know, I would love to get some more people in here that aren't just me talking, so that you don't get tired of me. I know I run out of things rather quickly, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Let's see, we got this one going out to Austin. I didn't show you the hat again. This is actually a big hat. This is a 7 7/8 DC New York Yankees 5950 fitted that I boxed up without showing you. Sorry. It's kind of a cool hat. More of a Superman color, blue and red. And we sold that one for $52.25. Even with the large sizes, they take a lot longer to sell, but they do sell, and you can get good money for them. Retail on this one was $45, I believe. So made some money above retail, or no, sorry, sold it for about retail price. All right. Next up, we got something interesting. Nope, more shoes. Same black shoes. Let's see, what size are these. These are size 9s. These are those same ones that we've been shipping out in the gray, just in the black. And they are selling, oh, it's got a 9 lace. Oh no. Gotta undo that. I'm terrible about getting knots out. We bought these for $20. $20? Yeah, 38 divided by 2. About a little less than $20 plus tax. And sold it for $52.25. I hope I can get this knot out. There we go. All right. That way that people don't think that these are used. They're not used. They're just ones that have been in store, so people have taken them off, maybe tried them on or something. But they're still brand new in the box. Same as if you went to go buy them. I've had a couple people actually mention that to me before. And guys, they're brand new in the box. Even if they've been tried on, that doesn't mean they're not brand new. You would go and buy them off the shelf and not expect a discount because they were tried on in store. And customers aren't going to know. So I'm not saying you sell something that's not new as new. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying if it's still sold on the shelf as new, especially when it comes to shoes, and I wouldn't say that with stuff that has a seal on the box or anything like that, but some people, I think, just want to find issues with what you do, so that's how it goes. There's always going to be haters, right? That's how I used to hear that saying all the time with YouTubers, and there's some YouTubers that get a lot of haters, and that's how they make their money, believe it or not. All right. Like I said, these ones sold for $54.69, $54.66, excuse me. Going out, ooh, that was loud. Running out of tape here. Going out to Brendan in Westbury, New York. Now, this will be an interesting one. Brendan actually left me a message saying, if possible, would love to receive these as soon as possible. I'm flying out of the country next Saturday, so it'd be great to receive them before. Really appreciate it in advance. They bought these on May 10th. All right, cool. So they bought them on what, Friday? Yeah, Friday. So these will hopefully arrive in time, and they will, even though I showed on vacation mode, hopefully they do get there. They should be. With going out priority, it should be no issue. But at first I seen that note and I thought, oh boy, who knows how long ago they bought these. All right. Got any more comments? I wasn't even paying attention. No, it doesn't look like it. Y'all are being quiet, doing your work, I'm sure. As we are here. Let's see, it is 4 o'clock here. So that means it's what, 6 o'clock on the East Coast and 3 o'clock on the West. Interesting. What times do you guys like videos being done? I know I'm doing them, obviously it's been mostly toward the morning and stuff. Does that work for most of you guys, or is it better off later on in the evening? How does that work for y'all? If you have an opinion on that, let me know. Because I don't mind doing them later. Most of the time I do them earlier just so I can make sure those go out that morning. We might keep it that way, but just out of curiosity, if you guys want to leave me your information on when, or leave me when you prefer these to come out or when it's easier for you guys to watch. That'd be awesome. This one here is a recent bin store purchase. I went to a bin store about a month and a half ago and didn't find much, but found a few items just for an hour or so, and picked this one up. This is a Parks, the board game, Keymaster Games 59 Parks sealed edition, or sealed. Sold it for $40 actually, and paid $9, so not bad for that. I guess it's a game, I think, or an expansion for a game or something like that. It was pretty interesting. It actually looked kind of interesting, which I'm not huge into games all the time, but that one actually kind of piqued my interest for a board game. I kind of like some of those strategy board games and so on. Just don't get to play them very often. It's hard to play with two people. And when I'm around family and stuff like that, we normally don't have that much time to just sit down and play a couple-hour game. But hopefully that'll change when we are able to move. So we're going to ship that in this priority mailbox and throw some packing in there just to keep it nice and secure, hopefully, on its trip wherever it's going. All right. I need to order some stuff online. I'm running out of bubbles. I'm sure you guys do that also. I save all my packing bubbles that I get in. I like shipping with them, actually. They're way better than bubble wrap a lot of times with bigger things, for sure. But nice to be able to just reuse. I always get a lot from the Kohl's sale too, so that always helps. This is going out to Cincinnati, Ohio, Mr. Caleb there in Cincinnati. We skipped over an order. I got a big order for that shampoo you guys have seen me ship out before. Got that going. Excuse me. Somebody bought 10 bottles, I believe, of the shampoo on eBay. So we'll package that up later because I actually have to go through and go get some more boxes of it. Oh, excuse me. Talking for 4 hours get you, not 4 hours, 2 hours get you throat a little dry there. All right, next up on the order list, we have, well, maybe my thing will load. There we go. This is a cool sale, actually. This is turning trash into money. This is a box for a CPU back from 2015, maybe 14, 15. This is an AMD Radeon FX 8-core processor, Black Edition. They were shipped in these tins, and my dad was building a PC, had some issues, actually ended up with a bad motherboard that burned out 2 CPUs. So I ended up with 3 of these, and he gave these to me a long time ago. He was just going to throw them away, along with those Cable Master cables and stuff we've sold before a while back on stream. But yeah, he gave these to me. I decided to go ahead and list them, and actually sold this guy for $22. So $22.50 for that empty tin. But it is pretty cool if you're into gaming and stuff like that. It's got some neat graphics on it and stuff. But just the tin alone, sold it for $22.49. I told him when I was back there this past week, I told him I felt bad because I've made probably going to end up making $250 off of the trash that he was just going to throw. But he's fine with it. He was like, I wasn't going to make the money, so he was fine. I am going to wrap this actually in bubble wrap real quick. I did turn the tracking off on the camera also just because I kept bumping around a little too much. I'm all over the place today. Normally I have these boxes and everything pre-set out so I don't have to do this all, but we were in a rush today. You guys kind of might have gotten in on it a little bit late, or not late. I was late to the party today. I'm just wrapping this more for protection from scratches than anything else, and we're just gonna, oops, didn't quite get that corner down. Just gonna slide that in here and throw a couple bubbles in on top. Got a comment from Rant. Just had to buy packing materials for the first time. No longer have a job to lease from. Dang, that sucks. I feel you there. When I worked for Hobby Lobby, I got free bubble wrap all day long. Like they would ship it in. Everything that came in bubble wrap or styrofoam or something. And so I got a lot of free packing materials, boxes, all that stuff from them. So I feel like I could actually go get it, but I haven't run out. And I found a good deal a long time ago locally. Someone was selling a whole bunch of bubble wrap. I literally have stacks of bubble wrap in my my storage unit that I got for like $2 a roll or something. So I have a lot of it, but if you ever needed to, and if you have a Hobby Lobby around, I'm not saying they will all do this, but if you ask them what day their truck day is, most of the time you can go in later that evening, and if you let them know, they might save some for you. Our store always did. We were happy to do it. We were just going to throw it away anyways, so we would, fill up a couple of trash bags with bubble wrap for people. So if you happen to be by a Hobby Lobby and you can go in and talk to them. Like I said, I can't guarantee they'll do that, but all the stores I was in, I've been in several of them. All of us did it. It was no big deal. We were happy to help out. But if you do need, like I said, packing, they won't want to do it for boxes because it's just hard to keep boxes, while they're trying to pack and organize and all that. But like I said, bubble wrap for sure. You can get a lot of used bubble wrap from there. And I'm sure there's other businesses too if you look around. Your job, even unless they fired you, they might even still work with you on it. All right, got the processor box packed up, and next up on the list we have another Diamondbacks hat. I don't know why the Diamondbacks doing good. I thought they were doing bad. Pete laughs at me every time I bring up baseball because I don't follow it, but I see a lot of stuff about it. And he thinks it's funny that I comment about it. Which it is. I mean, honestly, who else talks about stuff that they're not interested in? Me, when I'm trying to keep you guys from getting too bored with me just not rambling. This is another large one. This is a 7 7/8 Arizona Diamondbacks. Really interesting colorway. I think it's called the Fiesta Pack or Fiesta colorway. 10 or something like that. We sold this one for $52.24 and paid, like I said, $13 as usual on these. 12 to $13. Guys, I do get some of these cheaper. I get some of them that are, a lot cheaper than that if I buy a ton of them at a time. I do get different prices, but I just average it out to 13. And the reason for that is also because if you go and are not buying from a bulk buyer, if you're going into Burlington or Ross or wherever, you can most generally find them for those prices as well. So it's kind of an average price. I don't go through and I don't even have it listed on my sheet here on how much I pay for each individual one. But that's why we say $13, just because it kind of averages out, and that's what most people can get them at, and that's what I buy a lot of mine at, or around that price. Going out to Andrew in Banks, Oregon. Right, just a few more left here. I was hoping to get into some more of this interesting stuff, but like I said, I don't know when some of it sold or when it will be coming up here. We've still got, I think, eBay showing I still have how many orders? Counting orders from today, I still have 26 orders to go out, and I haven't touched the ones from Amazon yet. We'll be doing that here in a little bit. Next up, we did sell, these are just those, those Battle Droid Funko Pops that we ended up with, and we sold 3 of them to the same buyer for $54 total. They paid $17.99 for each of those, so I actually broke even with that one, so happy about that. Let's see, that will go in that'll probably go in one of these. I think that'll fit right down in here. Let's check it out and see. In a Priority Mail shoebox. Not too worried about them getting too banged up. It's a little tight, so what we'll do is we'll take some bubble and just wrap them in that. Actually, this is the last of my roll. Weird, it's like folded over. Of course. There we go. All right, let's see how much we need here. All right. There we go. So we'll throw that in this box, and that should do it. Honestly, these aren't, like I said, these are pretty common right now. They're not super valuable. Not that you don't want to protect them, but you don't have to take as much time. I'm going to fold it over. These are all brand new, sealed in the box, and that's how I listed them, to just try to differentiate myself from the other people selling them. With that being said, it's kind of risky because you don't know if they're damaged in the box. Most of them aren't, but there's every now and there are some damage in the box. But I find most buyers are more willing to kind of deal with it that way versus you not taking pictures of them. So if you list them as sealed like this, they're happy with it. They kind of understand it. But if you post a picture of the item and then they get it and it's not quite bad or whatever, then it's a whole big deal. These actually fit a lot tighter than I thought they were going to, but should work fine. Throw a bubble on top and that'll be it for that one. Y'all definitely want a play-by-play of a packing and order, then you're getting it right now. I've run out of things to talk about. I don't know what else to talk about, guys. So I'm just giving you a play-by-play of me packing an order. But I promised I'd be here till the end of these labels, so I'm trying. We're moving right along here. All right. I realized some of these sales are from Amazon that I was hoping to get to, so maybe we'll just talk about them here at the very end. All right, save and continue. Let's see. And since we're on here, we might as well do this. I'm actually going to call my post office while you guys are here. I'm going to mute if they answer, but sometimes it takes a minute for them to actually answer. So we're going to try this. I just want to make sure I get a hold of them and don't have an issue. So normally you guys would be like, do this after, but why not? Let's see if they answer.
Thank you for contacting the Alamogordo Post Office located at 930 12th Street. Our window hours are Monday through Friday.
Next up, we got another Funko Pop going out. Let's see. This is the Wonder Woman Steve Trevor from the Wonder Woman series. And we're going to be packing that one up. Let's see if they answer. If they answer, guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to mute the mic and I'll be right back. Like I said, they don't answer all the time, so I figure I'd try it now and then call them here in a couple minutes if they don't. All right. This one here we sold for $12.34. Didn't make any money on this one, but honestly, it's for my personal collection. I just decided not to keep the Wonder Woman series. And so we are going to get about $5-6 back out of it after fees and fees and shipping. Going out to Eric in Modesto. Let's see. All right. See, like I said, they don't answer. So I don't know if you guys can hear the ringing or not. Probably not, but they aren't answering. So I just let it ring and then I'll call back in about 5-10 minutes and hope they do. If they don't, that's on them. I just like to give them a heads up when I've got this many orders going out. Next up on the order list is just another pair of those Nike running shoes, $56.99, and they are the size 10s. They are the black ones. We bought these ones for $22 or 21 something. And these are the gray ones. Sorry, these are the gray, not the black. They are gray, right? Yes, on the listing they are gray. Okay. So we've got those going out. Like I said, $56.99, not bad on those ones. And it is Justin in Chesterville. They didn't answer. Does your post office answer you guys, or do you ever call them? I try not to for the most part, but I've had to intercept a couple packages that got the wrong label or whatever put on. And it's a small post office here, so it's, you know, they got like 3 people working in the back mostly. And you never know if they're actually going to answer the phone or not. Right. Who did I say this was going to? Justin in Chesterville. Oops, I forgot to add the tracking. All right. There we go. Yeah, I did have to buy. I think the last thing I bought was boxes. Like I said, I ordered to make sure to use the code from eBay. I used that one, but other than that, I think the last packaging I had to buy were these shoe boxes, and I guess I got a crazy deal on those. If you guys ever want to know what I use, I have most of the items that I use in the description box below. So if you want to check that out, you can. You don't have to use those, obviously, but that's just an idea of pretty much everything I use here, except for the postal services boxes, which you can just get from their what's it called, website. Sold another one of these Adidas. These are small mediums, so that's what's kind of crazy that they sold finally, but they are selling. Picked them up for $4, and we sold it for what, 20? I just said earlier, $21. Yeah, 21 bucks. Nice volume play. It did take a minute for them to sell, and like I said, I only put them on a 5% off promotion, so I don't know if it just promoted it or if that 5% was what it needed to be to get to the bottom of the price stack. I don't know. It's crazy sometimes how that works, but I've had them for months listed, and they just now sold. This is actually one of the items that I used an AI background for before eBay offered it. This was just something I used through Photo Room, and wanted to see if it would help sell. It didn't, or at least not that I can tell. Like I said, it took forever to sell anyways. Some people, that's kind of a interesting topic. I don't know if anybody has used it yet or do use the AI backgrounds versus just removing the background or just using whatever you took the photo up against. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I guess I could see it differentiating from, other sellers. Like it may make your item pop out versus that. So I could see that helping. But I also, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people like to buy from something that looks like it's a store. So like your stock photos and stuff like that. I've talked about this before, I think, on live streams, and I've had multiple conversations with other people about it as well. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the correct, 100% answer is, but I feel like you have a lot of people that shop different ways. You have people that want to see an actual item, actual picture of the item. A lot of people that are fine with a stock image as long as it shows details of the item. There's a lot of different things I feel like that can change, what affects you. Thanks for the update. Okay, somebody's responded. Everybody so far has responded really well to my message. I come up with just a generic message to send to everybody because I got tired of dealing with it constantly. And we did that generic message, and it seems to be working pretty well as far as people receiving it, not feeling like I'm telling them, duh, it's not going to be their time because of this. But it also is very clear, and it tells them, that, hey, it's going to be arriving probably later than normal. And I can actually tell you, let me just pop it up here real quick. I'll show you or read what message I sent them. Y'all can give me your opinion on it. All I stated was, hello, all orders placed between Friday, May 3rd and Sunday, May 12th will be shipped out May 13th due to our store being on vacation mode for the week. And will arrive within the estimated delivery time as shown on the order details page as well as the order confirmation page. So that was my way of being like, it told you this beforehand. It's still going to arrive in time, but still being nice about it, so to speak. And like I said, I've always gotten people that are upset because their item's late or that, hey, it didn't say that, whatever. I've not had any this time, knock on wood, and that's plastic, but I haven't had anybody this time say anything about that. So it seems to be working, but we'll just see how it keeps going. If it stays that way or if I still end up with one or two people mad. Like I said, all those orders will get updated. They were tracking at least, even though they may not get picked up today. So shouldn't be too bad. All right, we've got, I just used this is just another, it's a SSD enclosure for using like a SSD from inside a computer, but using it outside or just plugging in like a regular hard drive or a regular personal hard drive. I picked this up from the bin store. It was actually missing one little screw, and I listed it as that. It did sell for $22.49 from $9, I think is what I paid for it. At least I hope I paid $9 for it. So that is going out to Daryl. But yeah, that, like I said, that message seemed to work, and like I said, nobody took offense at it. Nobody's been grouchy and whatever. This is the very first time I've ever put the store on vacation mode and not had somebody pissed off because they couldn't read all the warnings. That's why I wonder if eBay made the message bigger or anything. Just curious. Probably not, but just got lucky. Next up, we've got, this isn't, oh man, I don't even know where I bought this. It might have been a bin store. No, I've had this forever. I might have gotten this out of liquidation pallets. I could be wrong. This might have, but I think this might have come out of a liquidation pallet we did back when I was in Indiana. So that's been some years ago. It is cut along the top, but it is still sealed. It hasn't been completely opened, and everything's still in there. The 2 helmets, just a Star Wars Black Series helmets series or whatever. Kylo Ren and Poe Dameron, which not the most sought after Star Wars characters. But we do have that one going out. I'm going to come over here. I think the camera is going to follow me. And then I'm going to show it a door because I have to reach in my closet. So bear with me. You get a up close picture of me struggling to reach. I thought I had enough hat boxes, but I did not. So we're going to grab some more out of the closet here. All right. Y'all are getting a full tour of the office in all its mess and glory right now. As you guys can see, this is all the shoe boxes that we have so far. That's stacked to the floor, and we've still got at least 4 more to add to that. So that alone would, not quite, but it would fill up a good portion of my mail carrier's room for sure. So we're going to try calling them again to see if they'll answer before they close here in about 10 minutes. Let's call and do this again.
Thanks for contacting the Alamo.
Right. So like I said, if they answer, I'm going to mute my mic and we'll be right back with you. But kind of doubt they're going to answer, to be honest. All right. Let's wrap this one here. Oh, that's not going to reach. So we're going to have to get some better. There's another person. Thank you for letting me know on the delay. So far, so good. We can use these. I'm in a hurry today. So let's just wrap it. They are not answering. Typical. Today's not holiday, right? I'm not losing my mind. Wrap that now. It's not going to fit. Huh? Oh, frick. I didn't think of that. Oh, look at that, though. Perfect. Nice and snug. Maybe a little too snug, but it should be okay. That's one thing when shipping collectibles and boxes that you don't want dinged up and stuff. You want to make sure that you actually leave a little bit of room around. You don't want it to be super, super tight, because if it's super tight, then any kind of compression is going to crease or damage the box. Something I learned when working in Indiana selling for Dennis over at buyrockandroll.com. We shipped a lot of breakable collectibles, and it was always, we would always double box them. Basically, if it was in this box, we would wrap it with bubble, slide it in a box, wrap that box with bubble, and slide it in another box. We always made sure those boxes weren't super tight. So if you were having to push on it to get it down, that was a no-go. You wanted to be able to just drop it in and it just slide right down in that box and not, not have more than 1/4 of an inch on all sides. We spent a lot of time doing that. Obviously, you can't do that necessarily with every single item that you sell, but for collectibles, it makes sure that even if you get impacts and stuff like that, it's not going to damage those boxes, and it works really, really well. We very, very rarely had any issues with broken items arriving. So super cool tip that I learned, and I try to use it as much as I can. The other thing is sliding things in, even like in cardboard backer boxes, like your Hot Wheels and stuff like that. Anything that's in a clamshell, not clamshell, but the paper-backed packages. We would always slide them in. You could get them in a smaller box if you slid them in corner to corner. Instead of trying to lay them flat and everything, you could go corner to corner, and it worked really well and gave you a little bit smaller box too, dimensions wise. So just another tip there. I don't ship hardly anything like that. Otherwise, I'd show you guys more often, but there's several ways to keep stuff like that. I don't ship hardly anything anymore that needs protecting or you don't want to get damaged necessarily. But if you do, I would recommend it. Next up, we have a pair of Brooks running shoes. I have had these for a long, long time. This was another bin store purchase. We got these from a bin store. They are women's size 7, so they're really small, as you can see. And I'm going to double check. It's been a long time since I got these, so make sure the tag actually matches. Yes, women's size 7. These are brand new. They were still in the box. You know, there's no dirt or anything like that on the bottom. At least I don't think so. Just double check that. May not be. Like I said, I bought these well over, I want to say, 2 years ago at least. I'm just gonna clean one of these and see if it comes off. Yeah, it does. All right, so these have probably been tried on. So I'm going to have to hold off on these. I'm just gonna clean the soles off real quick with this rag. It's wiping right off. Like I said, it looks like they're not got tread or anything off of them. Like there's no signs of wear other than that slight dirt on the bottom. So we're going to wipe that off and we will ship it out to them. If they have an issue, then we'll obviously refund them, but I will have to hold off on that. But like I said, these are not used. They are just, you can tell they've just been tried on in a store, and that's why they got thrown in. This was not from an Amazon liquidation. This was from, I believe, a sporting goods store. And we sold these for $116.99 for these particular shoes. They've taken forever to sell. Like I said, I've had them for 2 years. I did put them on the 10% promotion off, and they did sell. But I'm going to have to touch those up, make sure that the buyer's not that. If they don't come off, we'll contact the buyer and see if they want to take a discount or refund. But like I said, I'm pretty sure they just got tried on for a minute. We'll just clean those right up and won't be an issue. Next up, we've got these cleats. These are those rainbow trouts that we bought in that last video. I'm going to plug the video again. I told you guys I was going to do it. If you haven't watched it yet, go check out the newest video. I'd appreciate it. I spent a lot of time on that video. And yeah, it took me a lot of time. So I greatly appreciate it if you could check it out. And let me know what you think. Even if it's bad, even if there's something you don't like about it, let me know. I'm open to criticism as long as you're professional about it. And we can talk about it in the next video. So definitely, or in the next live stream. But we bought these, paid 20. What were we paying for these? 20 or 25? I think these were 20 still. Sold it for $54.99 and sold the size 9. This is actually a repeat buyer. I believe this is the same buyer that bought the 2 pairs of them in the stream 2 weeks ago. Pretty sure it's the same buyer. So he bought another pair, size 9. Don't know if he's buying for a team or what's going on there, but I appreciate his return business. That is Gabriel over in Texas. Oops. Let's try that again. Right. Going out. Guys, I think I have one more order. So if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, let me know. And I will answer them before I hop off here. But we're going to grab that other order. We might show you a couple more things here at the very end of stuff that we aren't going to be packaging up on video, but I think are cool sales. I can show you some of that. But yeah, we are coming down to the last of these labels. Like I said, I've still got about 20 more orders after these to get shipped out. So hopefully I can get all that done tonight and then get caught back up on all my other business stuff tomorrow. This last sale that we're going to be packaging up is this Nike. This is a coach's jacket, I believe it's a quarter zip. Yeah, quarter zip. Navy. I'm not going to unfold it here, but these were again a Burlington purchase, which means I need to find the Burlington tag. Unless this was the one that had the tag removed. Nope, see, it's all hidden in here. I do that sometimes. I fold them in and forget that the tags are in here. Got to make sure you remove those, otherwise they're not happy. $12.99 on this one. We sold it for $35.99. Has taken a minute for this to sell, but it is kind of coming into that season. And like I said, sports stuff is taking off. These got tanked really bad last season, so I held on to them and kept them listed high, and we were able to sell them. Clothing doesn't take much space. I don't mind holding it if I know that it's going to sell. If it's a good brand like Nike or something like that, I'll hold them to the next season, no problem. Otherwise, I might try to get rid of them before the end of the season if I feel like it's just not a good selling item. So, but these ones, like I said, I knew would sell. There's nothing. They use them all the time, and a lot of teams get custom embroidery and stuff, their team logos and all that on these. So a lot of times people want to just get an extra one to have done or whatever, and they'll order them if you can find them. So we did get 35 out of this one, like I said, on part of our sale. Going out to Justin. I've heard that name before. I get called Justin all the time, but not Justin. All right. Going out to Chula Vista. And that's going to wrap up the labels. So let's see what we got left here. I'm going to run through some more of these orders real fast to just show you guys. This will be an interesting part, and then we'll let you all go. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We got a long stream. I think we got 3 hours going on today. This will be the longest one we've been on. Hopefully it was entertaining and helpful, not just a waste of your time. A couple more things that sold. We're going to go ahead and just cover real quick, just because I think they're cool and something we don't sell every day. We've got this little Dorbs guy. We sold this guy for $12, actually. This is a Stranger Things Dustin figure, my name. We sold that one for 12 bucks. Nothing crazy there. We had the pink slides up here that we kind of showed the white ones of. We had the pink version of them here that we sold for 33. I'm not going to go through the hats, guys. You've seen all the hats before, unless I see something different. We do have these Nike Terry shorts that we picked up from the Dick's. I keep calling it Dick's Sporting Goods. The oh goodness, Academy sale. There we go. We paid 10 bucks for these and sold them for $26.99 for these really bright, really bright. Like, that's no joke. That's not just the camera. They are that bright yellow. And what else we got in here? We sold some spark plug wires that I got from the bins for 9 bucks. Sold these for $44.99. The box is beat up, but everything inside was brand new. And we did verify that all the part numbers matched and all that stuff. Sold some more hats. Sold a couple more pairs of shoes that you guys have seen before. We do have the Quack of Quackenberg. No, Quedlinburg. Something like that. This is a unique game. I almost kept it, but I decided to go ahead and list it again. I don't play games very often, but it's kind of looks neat at least. And we sold this one for $44. Paid $9 at the bin store for that one. Something I don't have with me, but I'll go ahead and show you guys because it's kind of interesting. This is a wind deflectors for windows on a Kenworth semi-truck. So we actually, I don't know if you guys can see that very well with the lighting, but we actually sold those. They were brand new in box. Got these from a bin store a long time ago. Somebody offered me 70 bucks for them, and I took it. I don't even remember what I had originally listed. Just wanted them out. They're in the either in the garage or in the storage unit. We sold some Skechers flip-flops, or not flip-flops, excuse me, but sandals. If you guys find these and can get them at a decent price, they do sell for about 40-45 bucks. And it depends on which ones. These we bought for 16 on the Yellow Tag Marshalls event. I hope that event's coming up soon. I would like to get some more inventory from there because I'm actually selling a lot of it. But that's a great sale. Their clearance isn't always the best, but when they go yellow tag, they mark them down significantly, and they might be worth it at that point. Like I said, we paid 16, sold those for 44 bucks, and that was on the sale. I've actually sold a pair of those before, I think for like almost 50. Sold some socks as well, but that was it. Then over on the Amazon side, we did sell, again, a couple pairs of shoes. I didn't realize I had these listed. I don't sell shoes on Amazon anymore, but I just hadn't removed them. So hopefully they don't come back. But we did sell them for 60 bucks. These Adidas women's the cloud foams. And then sold another hat. Sold that blank hat that we talked about before. These do really well. Sold a pair of Adidas pants. These are just like the Tiro pants, extra large, again from that Academy sale for 10 bucks, and sold it for we paid $10 and sold them for 30. Not a huge come up there, but they always do well. They generally always sell for 30 bucks or more. We've been selling the daylights out of these. I can't remember if I called these, I didn't call them out, but if I talked to you about these before, these are a brand I never heard of. Kimes Ranch is what it's called. Particular hat. There were several of them in one of the most recent hat sale callouts, and these are actually selling really well on Amazon. We're selling these for 31 bucks. I think that's full retail on them. They're retail for 30. And like I said, we paid $5 for these. Super good pickup, and I picked up like 6 or 8 of them. Nobody was buying them, and they're selling super fast over there. Sold a couple more pair of Under Armour undies that we've talked about before. For 30 bucks, and we paid I think 10 for those. Sold a couple bucket hats. Got these from a sale as well. Paid less than $5, even though they have a $5 tag on them. This one here, oh no, this one we did pay $5 for. Sold it for 40. This is an Adidas cream color, like a creamsicle color way, or tie-dye, I guess you could say. So that went for 40, crazy high for that color for some reason. And then these we actually paid a couple bucks for these Columbia, I think they're called boonie hats. Yeah, they call them boonie fishing hats. And we actually sold 2 of these, sold them for $28 a piece from $5 there, or less than $5 on those. Some more underwear. Again, I'm not going to go through all those. We did sell this Pittsburgh hat over on Amazon. Picked it up from Ross for $8 and selling it for $29.99. Don't forget to check those hats. Doesn't need to be baseball, or can't be football, basically, but any other brand, you might be able to find a good deal. Excuse me, my voice is done. I feel like. All right. But yeah, so we did sell those, and I always recommend checking those out on Amazon because they do tend to get a little bit more. Other than that, I think that's it. I do have the Run Falcons here. I'll show those real quick. And these did sell again on Amazon. I wouldn't sell them on Amazon, but they sold for $50. I just haven't taken those listings down. This happened. I took all my shoe listing down when the Adidas thing went out, and I didn't pay attention to the out of stocks. That's why these are selling. So when I put my store back up, they were still up, and I just haven't fixed it. But we'll get that fixed eventually. I think that's it, guys. I think I've talked enough. I think you guys have heard me ramble enough. One more thing before we do leave. Because somebody was asking me in the last video. These are those shorts that we bought from the Kohl's clearance event a while back. I picked up a whole bunch of women's running shorts and these sweat terry shorts. They are starting to sell, and they're not selling fast, but they are starting to sell. We paid $7 or $8 for these ones here, and they did sell for, oh, maybe they didn't. Or it's on the other page. There we go. Sorry, wrong page. I was like, I know they sold. They did sell for $28. So 7 into 28 is a decent buy. Like I said, it's taking longer and they're not selling as fast, but they are selling. So not a bad buy overall. Trying to think if there's anything else. I did sell a Lego brick storage thing that I won't be able to show you guys. I can click on the listing maybe on Amazon here. Did sell this just now. And basically this is just a storage. Wow, yeah, it's really not going to show up on camera because it's too bright, but it's just a storage thing for Legos that we sold. And that's it. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. My voice is gone. Let me check the comments before we get out of here. I learned a ton. Grim said, thank you so much. I need you to make a Discord for you so I can ask 100 questions. Bro, that's why I'm here. That's what the whole thing with this is for. I don't mind answering questions. I love it. I love it. I enjoy what I do. I love talking to people about it. And let's be honest, not everybody wants to talk about this stuff. That's why I want to do these videos. I wanted to have just a place where you could come in, hang out, chat with other people in the chat with me, whatever it is, and just be that. You know, like I said, I'm in no way ready to go open up a Discord or whatever for, you know, Bread and Butter's over there. They do great over there. But just a spot where we can, you know, have some interaction and stuff like that. I feel like it's helpful, not only for you guys, for me. I learn a lot from you guys. I learn a lot from doing these. So it's not just a, you know, I'm not just out here saying I know it all, because I learn just as much from you guys as you do from me. So, but that's why we do it. That's why we do it every week. That way we have a spot to just hang out and talk, and you can feel free to ask as many questions you want. I love the questions. I'm not just saying that. It helps me out so much to give me something to talk about and to expand on and everything in these videos. And I know it's something that you guys are interested in. So do not ever hesitate to ask questions. Leave them in the comments. Shoot me a message with them, and we'll cover them in the next stream or whatever. We'll do all kinds of stuff with that. Do not hesitate to leave the questions. I love it. It helps me, like I said, helps me out a lot and makes my job so much easier when we can do it. So I think that's it, guys. Like I said, there's a lot of links in the description. If you haven't checked those out, I would greatly appreciate it. Check out that last video, that Burlington video. Let me know what you guys think of that. Maybe we'll discuss that a little bit more in the next stream. Next stream should be next Monday, unless something comes up, but we'll keep it going on a weekly basis as much as we can. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, I post all the time over there. I try to give some heads up as far as the lateness of this. I do some call outs, even I'm not going to say I give away leads necessarily, but sales coming up or whatever, I try to share them out there when they pop up. I'm just just kind of another tool that I can use to help you guys out and be able to communicate a little bit easier than just posting videos. So if you haven't liked that, appreciate it. We'll be getting a Facebook page up soon as well. And if you're a Facebook user only, then you can help us out there. I think that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much again for watching. We will see you guys all in the next one.